Welcome to the RIZIN Report. I'm Jay Wolf with the latest MMA news from Japan. If you're a fan of MMA, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and comment below. Subscribe to the Todd Atkins Network on YouTube. Don't miss the latest breaking updates. Subscribe now and stay connected.
All right, this is Todd Atkins, and I'm here with RIZIN Report. This is almost like the old Japan MMA beat. We got about 4 people here this time, and I'm just going to let everybody kind of go around and introduce themselves. Jay Wolf, I'll let you start off first.
What's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks for having me on. Thanks for putting together this fantastic the RIZIN Report. This is like a mini Japanese MMA beat, like you were saying. So it's great to have the bros on, and I can't wait to talk about this epic RIZIN Fighting Federation. We're going to talk about the, what's going on, what's been announced so far, and what's coming up for the rest of the year. Maybe do a little bit of, half-year review, and definitely a preview of what's to come. So just great to be here with Daniel Dziubicki from Poland and Andrew Benjamin from the We Are RIZIN podcast.
Yeah, and Daniel, since you're up at like 2 a.m. your time, I'll let you go second. You're being a trooper here.
Yeah, it's not a big deal for me because I'm used to just work in those hours, just not to sleep, especially now when there's a soccer World Cup. So I'm sitting right in front of my TV and watching all those games. So this time it's not a problem for me. So here we go.
Yeah, we got Mexico in like an hour. So that, yeah.
Yes.
And Andrew, why don't you go ahead? Andrew's first appearance on the RIZIN Report. We Are RIZIN podcast.
Yep, I'm the host, sole proprietor of the We Are RIZIN podcast. Some say the best, some say the worst Japanese MMA podcast. But somehow I'm still doing this after, oh my God, almost 10 years. So I've been hoping other people would become more successful than me, but everybody starts doing this and then they start doing other things. Like Drake, you should have stuck. Jake Riggs, you should have stuck with this, man. Should have gone to Uncrowned. This was your calling. Now I have to pick up where you pick up. I'm just kidding. But yeah, yep, that's what I do. Yeah, just I got the Sakuraba, my new Sakuraba.
Nice. And the shades, like the California style shades.
Actually, these are funny. These are I got these are what do you call these blue light things. These are the ones that like block blue lighting.
Oh, nice.
So like it's all weird. It looks all weird now staring at a computer screen with these. But yeah, these are shades. These are my shades.
Yeah,
nice.
It's hard to believe, but right now I'm not in the Osaka Dome. What you can see in the background, but I will be in September. I would like to announce that. Yeah, I will be at Super RIZIN 5. It's awesome. Already scheduled, so I have a plan to do a lot of things, and yeah,
awesome.
Maybe we will do with some Polish YouTuber who is living in Japan. So yeah,
nice. Do you already have your tickets to Super RIZIN 5?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I think it won't be a big problem if I will do this on the right time, because it's a big venue, so it won't be sold out by a minute or 10 minutes.
Is that Daniel? Is that the YouTuber? Is his name Vitaly? He's Polish, right?
No.
He's from Russia.
I'm not sure what.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's Emil and Aiko, because this guy has a Japanese wife and they are living in Kamakura.
I love Kamakura, man. I used to go there all the time.
Yeah, that's the plan, to go there as well, because I've been 3 times and never could go. And actually, I've been twice on winter. So yeah, you know what I mean, actually.
Kamakura, for people that don't know, there's many shrines there. It's kind of like a city of shrines, and they have the great Buddha there, Daibutsu, giant Buddha, and it's a place for a lot of people like to hang out that live in that area, or even people from further away. And it's a very popular place for tourists, and also Japanese people like to hang out there too, because of culturally all the you know, all the shrines, and they can do hiking from one shrine to the next. They got a map out thing where you can do that. So if people that are interested in Japan, there's something you can check out one day. What I'm gonna let y'all do, I think, Jay Wolf, I'm just gonna let you run this a little bit. I'll just kind of hang back and you guys just kind of chop away at these topics.
Okay, cool. I mean, the big topic that everybody wants to talk about first is the quotes that Sakakibara-san just dropped at the presser the other night. And as of this recording, we're going to have another presser tonight. This is Monday. I mean, this is Tuesday night, and there's supposed to be a presser tonight for Koji Takeda's opponent. It's going to be announced. So, there's probably some news even after this. But at the previous presser, Sakakibara-san had some amazing quotes. And if you guys want to go through those right now, or do you want to go through the most, like he announced the entire card for Ryzen Landmark for 15 with Sabatello and the Deep Champion. He announced the August card, Ryzen 54, and made another announcement for the the Adam when it was Adam Weight and Super Ryzen. We just don't know who's Yutaka Saito's opponent is yet. That's coming up too. Another announcement. Just got a bunch of big announcements happening. So, what do you guys want to get started with? You want to get started with Sakakibara-san's quotes or what?
Your show. You decide.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's get that's the one that you guys want to talk about the most. Let's talk about what was your favorite quote from Sakakibara-san?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Did you know that Sakakibara also they had some new quotes came out like about 2 hours ago as well?
Oh, did it?
Yeah. I don't know if it's from the same interview or something, but it's more talking about their presence in China and the monthly events and all that stuff. But
I would like to say it's the same bunch of from the same batch of the quotes from the last presser, because
Oh, okay.
I've been translating all his quotes from the Gong Kaktogi, and I've wrote it on X / Twitter, so I know all that quotes. But Ryzen TV, so AKA English Ryzen account, just used it recently to make a graphics and stuff like this, and trying to just push it via
I
social
see it.
medias.
I see it right there.
This is this.
So those
This
are
is
the brand new
this
ones
is
where
the
he's
same
talking
thing.
about Li Kai-Wen, the Chinese fighter. It looks like they're going to try to push him to get into China. Maybe we're going to have a Chinese Ryzen event. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But
well, Jay, hopefully those fighters will start winning first.
tell
That's
me
kind of the
about it.
goal.
Hey, I'm not
Not
picking him in
not
the Ryzen Fantasy League no more.
not a single Chinese win in Ryzen so far.
And here is the other quotes. These are the first ones on the same one on the Ryzen English Twitter or X account. And like Daniel was saying, if you guys want to watch Ryzen, now is a great time to go to Ryzen. Go to Ryzen.tv and get the subscription. It's only $17, and there's one event every single month for the rest of the year, and it's totally worth it. You get full event replays anytime you want, full access to the fights, everything. It's fantastic. Ryzen.tv and the subscription for the rest of the year. It's totally worth it. So, which set of quotes you got? We want to talk about the Li Kai-Wen quotes about China or the other ones? I was thinking the other ones.
I've got interested into the quote about the state of lightweight, and we will be shocked, according to Sakakibara. But I'm very curious what it can mean.
Which one was that? Was he talking about the lightweight you said?
Yeah.
But that's not Takeda's opponent, right? Takeda's not a lightweight, or is he back at lightweights?
I think he's back at lightweight, right?
I thought it said 66 kilo. Wait, I think was it? I don't know.
Here,
Yes,
let me tell you, I got it right here. I'll see.
Takeda will fight in featherweight, and
okay.
the black can. Some Japanese actually fix the thing, and I think we know already the opponent, and it will be Kazuma Samajima who
oh, you already know the opponent?
Posing. Yeah, I think so. I don't know, but some Japanese in the comment section on X just posted some 2 or 3 pictures of Majima posing with a black can with coffee.
Oh,
And I think
interesting.
this can
And Daniel,
be
it says
this
it's
can be a hype
66 kilograms. What weight class is 66 kilograms?
featherweight.
That's featherweight? Okay.
Yeah, 145.
Okay. Cool. So
I thought
interesting.
I thought it was I thought it was gonna be like I thought it was Black Panther because it was
I
a
know, me
black
too.
can, and I was like Black Panther. But it's a weird way because like they usually just put it with like the X. They just do the X. They don't do like anything else real, or they'll do like the outline. It was just weird because it's like a can.
Yeah. It's like it didn't even have the Monster X on it, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first set of Sakakibara-san's quotes here. He's talking about how the Ryzen roster has gotten much deeper. He wants to keep making Japanese stars. And he's talking about how if the fighter wants to go somewhere else, they got UFC dreams, like Drew loves to say, that he won't stop him from going there. But he's talking about,
That was my saying. I was the one who created
oh,
the event called UFC Dreams, the show that we
yeah.
did called UFC Dreams. Yeah.
Sakakibara-san is not going to stand in the way of fighters having UFC dreams. But he said with one championship, he says, what exactly are they going there for? What's the point of going there? So, I guess that's the only one. And then he's talking about he doesn't want to see MMA absorbed by America. Well, hey, JBF Just Bleed fans said in the Ryzen FF fans Discord server, said, well, hey, if you don't want it to be, what are you doing going away from whole, fight scoring, going round by round scoring? Well, how come you don't have the 10-minute first round anymore? How come you're going away from one night Grand Prix? I mean, all that differentiates you from the American UFC style of mixed martial arts. Thankfully, they still have the thing that separates them from everybody, which is the superior rule set, which is, as everybody knows, is pride rules with elbows. So pretty much every single strike, all kicks and knees legal on the ground, and in any position, even when you're on the ground, all up kicks and everything legal. All elbows are legal. Well, that's universal now. It doesn't matter, but it was a big deal before. So, that's what separates them from the UFC and makes them cool, is the superior rule set. But if Sakakibara-san from this quote right here, he's talking about how he wants to not let MMA get swallowed up by the Americans and have it be just for us basically. He should. I mean, what's he doing? Bringing doing the round by round scoring. Well, how about this? How about he brings back the 10-minute first round for title fights? Differentiates the title fights at least. I mean, if I can't have my one night Grand Prix, then do the 10-minute first rounds. But I would prefer the one night Grand Prix, to be honest with you. I think they should bring that back. That definitely separated them from the UFC. But if they're not going to do that, then do a 10-minute first round for title fights or something. I just thought those were great suggestions by JBF. But just no matter what, just keep the superior rule set. That's all I got to say. Keep the full superior rule set with stomps, flying stops.
What was interesting is these comments overall, I don't know if he's done this before because you guys probably follow the press conference more than me, but it almost sounded like he was looking ahead for the first time, at least to me, where he's kind of thinking, okay, maybe we can make a move now, where he's kind of saying UFC, what you see is what you get. It's the same product every time, which he's right. If you go to a UFC event, you're going to see the same one this time, next weekend. The production's always the same. There's not a lot of it, like he said. And he was talking about the pay-per-view. We need to look at this and that. He was saying some things relative to the revenue. So it sounded like he had some like foresight where he was actually kind of thinking beyond, where they're at currently, which it didn't seem like he was really talking about previously, at least that I had seen. So it sounds like he is thinking about this stuff now.
Well, I mean, they've been thinking, he's been forward thinking for a while. I mean, he's been talking about doing a US show for a while.
But I'm just saying beyond how Ryzen was doing things when, from COVID to now and all that. But it sounds like he's kind of looking beyond now. a little bit. Do you guys
I mean,
agree? Or?
I would say so. This year, 100% because you know this the theme of this year is Japan versus the world, right? He's bringing international fighters, Patchy Mix, all these guys, and you know that's another thing we're gonna talk about later is that Patchy Mix's next fight just got announced, and Andrew has a fantastic article up about it on MMA Sucker. Everybody go there and check out, give him clicks and reads and likes and everything. So I mean, they're you know Sakakibara-san's bringing in international guys. And that's another quote. One of my favorite quotes is where he's talking about that even if a title fight is between two foreign fighters, that's fine. An overseas champion would bring more international attention and encourage more foreign fighters to challenge for the belt. That was my favorite quote there because you know, we've been talking about that for a long time now, Todd. How they should bring in more international fighters, just like the Almighty Pride FC did. You know, and that would get them more international, worldwide attention. So just some fantastic quotes, and you know, you're probably right. Maybe they are forward thinking. That was pretty interesting talking about the Li Kai Wen in China. Those are brand new comments that I'm just reading right now. And you know, you talk about where he was saying about the UFC. You know what he's talking about, right? We brought the UFC is the White House event. Absolutely, that's sensational. That was the best UFC I've ever seen in my life, dude. With the just amazing production over that rivaled an Almighty Pride FC event. That was the best event that we've seen since the Almighty Pride FC. UFC White House was absolutely sensational from the walkouts, even the commercials. It was like a Super Bowl where I was like couldn't wait to see what the commercials are going to be because they had like you know patriotic commercials and everything showing like the story of America and stuff. It was really cool. So that's what he was talking about there. He's talking about how you know that was like an Otoko Matsuri opening you know opening ceremony style type of a thing. So he was comparing to that, and that's when he brought up the comparisons between the UFC. So that's probably what you're talking about there. But you know what Daniel, what do you guys think about all these Sakakibara-san quotes and about him talking about? It sounds like he wants to expand, right?
There's a lot of things in these quotes, and it's hard to say in general. I think it's interesting, but I can say you nothing by saying it's interesting. Yes, but yeah, what from what I have told you before, the lightweight quote was especially interesting because it has kind of a bit mystery, but we will be shocked. I can't, you know, imagine what would cause the shock effect in the lightweight. So I'm really looking forward to what they will do. You know,
What do you think it could be? An international signing, another big international signing, or
Mm, that's this is kind of this is the first thing what comes to my mind, but I have no idea who could it will be. No,
okay?
I have totally no idea. Mm, about you know other quotes, I have to open it, but yeah.
Is there
About
any is there any for KSW since you're from Poland, so you know all the stuff
yes.
about KSW and everything. And also, did you see there's going to be a new WOTOR event? Did you see that tweet yet?
You know, I know the thing, and it turned to be just the buyout of social media of Votorev by another company, but they have no uh, no similar things, not common things. They are totally new project, and I don't even know who is behind it.
Okay,
So
okay.
I don't know,
All
totally
right, I
no
just want to
idea.
bring that up because you know, Jenna, you do the announcing for that. You do the commentary for the English commentary for the WOTOR events, which is a
Yes,
superior rule
yes.
set league in Poland. So just want to give you a shout out there for that one. So you think there's going to be a big splash in lightweight, and you think it possibly could be an international signing. And do you know if there's any like free agents from KSW possibly? I mean, what do you think about? You know, is Parnassi going to stay with MVP possibly? I don't know because Parnassi was from KSW.
Yes, but Parnas parted ways with KSW. Of course, in with no uh, no bad blood, with in a friendly way, and even Martin Lewandowski supported him because simply they can pay him a ton of money, but on the other hand, he can't have a proper opposition there. He blocked the featherweight belt because he fought for in featherweight last time. I think it was 2 years ago or something like this. And since his last he since that fight, he went to the lightweight, and all of his or majority of his fights were in lightweight. And KSW still kept him as a champion in 145, but at the same moment he's been a champion in 155. So there was no sense to just keep him and you know, spend a lot of money, because I think KSW sees the plans to make another events in France, from what I can see, by putting Parnas in the card in Radom. So it's a semi-big city in Poland. And in general, KSW has its own issues right now with selling the arenas. They are going to the biggest arenas very occasionally. So I think they have some kind of crisis right now. About the potential signings of RIZIN, I think that someone even posted it on our Discord, that Max Holzer, the unbeaten fighter from Octagon MMA, he is from Germany. Octagon is from the Czech Republic. Posted that he is watching some, I think, featherweight RIZIN fight. So this is kind of interesting thing. Can be some hint, but I'm not sure what it can means.
Did you say he was from what promotion you say he was from?
From Germany.
Yeah, from Octagon, right?
Yes.
Did you see the guy that runs ACA, the Russian guy?
Oh, yeah, I saw the infographic about what if and there was ACA against RCC, ACA against Fight Nights Global, and ACA against RIZIN. I'm not sure why they did it. Actually.
Yeah. I got that tweet right here. Here, let's see if I can show it to the audience here. There goes the ACA guy. He's talking about doing some kind of collaboration possibly with Ryzen. So I wonder if that could be what it could be for lightweight, or maybe even above heavier weights. Who knows? So a bunch of interesting stuff. So Drew, do you want to chime in here? Oh, go ahead. You got some more to say, Daniel?
One more thing to say about those quotes about one championship, because the Samurai monthly thing will consist 50 to 50. The proportions will be striking, so kickboxing and Muay Thai, and the other half there will be MMA only fights. So that's why one desperately needs to have a guys a bit better than Vankras or Shuto journeyman or just mid-tier guys in Japanese MMA from the feeder leagues like Shuto and Pankras. So I think that's why they're trying to reach out some RIZIN fighters, because they need draws. Because as you could see, the Samurai thing will be every month, at least in 5K arenas, and everything it will be in Kanto region. So Tokyo, Yokohama, Saitama, etc. All the events will be in this area.
Do you think that one can actually pull it off, one samurai event every single month?
In theory, they can, but they need a draws, and that's why they're reaching out to RIZIN fighters behind the scenes.
Yeah, and that's why Sakakibara-san was like, what are you gonna go there for? What do they have? They're gonna put you in one jail, as Anarchy likes to call it. So, but Drew, hey, let's go to Drew here. Give him a chance to talk. So, what do you think about all these Sakakibara-san quotes about, he's okay with international fighters, international champions. He's talking about, Lee Kai Win here. Reading those comments, those are most brand newest ones or most newest ones, and looks like he might be doing a Ryzen China event. Maybe that's what they're trying to build up to. I mean, and then like Daniel was saying with this one championship quote, where he's kind of throwing some shade to one championship, and there's all kinds of good stuff. So I just want to get your thoughts, Drew.
Okay, so the China thing. So I want also so just generally, so and Jay Wolf, you have to understand this, and maybe Todd, since he lived in Japan. Sakakibara speaks very much as a formal CEO. He will say things that will make a headline. He will say, "Yes, I would very much like to do a show and that's the other thing. He never said United States. He said North America. That's the translation. He said North America, not United States. But here's the thing. So he'll say, yes, we very much like to do a show in North America. And what will they print in the magazines on online sites? So Kakibara says the goal is to do show in America, and then possible aggregators that translate it and pretty much horridly will then say that it's a show, a Rise in the United States show is coming. So that's what you have to first learn, is that he talks like a Japanese politician, where he gives general answers to questions, very non-specific. So in terms of the China, though, I see that as highly unlikely unless a Chinese champion somehow gets there. And the reason is because if you think that doing business in Japan is hard, China is even harder.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yes, because you're not dealing with any private, you're dealing with the government there.
Well, what instead of not China, how about something like Taiwan or something?
Ryzen shows there's only like 2 fighters from Taiwan.
No, but they could take the Chinese fighters to Taiwan.
They could, but also you still have to go through the Taiwanese government. They may request, hey, we want a certain amount of Taiwanese fighters if you're going to do a show here. And I'll be honest, Taiwanese fighters are not that good. It's Sorry, Dan, go ahead.
And in Taiwan, it's kind of a bit political thing.
Yes.
If you would bring all those guys from People's Republic of China, this would be not very good looked by a Taiwanese people, government, and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you don't want to do that.
Okay. Just trying to throw it out there, trying to see it make it work.
See, here's the thing. Like they were able to do the Azerbaijan show because Vugar became champion. They're not doing that show in Azerbaijan if Vugar's not champion.
Yeah, but the quotes from Sakakibara-san were about Lee Kai Win, so it looked like they were trying to build Lee Kai Win up.
Well, when Lee Kai Win becomes champion,
in China.
When he becomes champion, we can then talk about it. But
okay,
the Chinese government is not going to. Also, the other thing is, don't forget, UFC Op has their own things in China. If they want to, conspiracy theory, if they wanted this, if Ryzen was going to try to do a show there, UFC could probably call up whoever they know who works, wherever in China, and be like, hey, can you not let them do it? Can you block it? That's entirely.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
That's not a conspiracy theory. That's just generally I think
that's totally something that's Dingleberry Dana 101 right there. That's exactly what he do.
So regarding the roster depth, I'm gonna try to go this one by one, but also quickly. Roster depth, which kind of goes with UFC Dreams, all that stuff. So right now we are dealing with fighters. We're dealing with the new gen of fighters who are born in, if you can believe this, 2000, 2001, 2002. These, post 9/11 babies. So, and the problem with them is that they grew up only on UFC. So right now we have a young generation of fighters, Yuito Yanigawa, I'm trying to think a bunch of the other pancreas fighters, deep fighters, who are UFC focused only because they just grew up with only watching UFC. Ryzen is not in their wheelhouse at all. Now, maybe, they go out to road to UFC and then they get eliminated, then that's different. Who knows? But right now, there's a reason why a bunch of those road to UFC guys I think with the exception of like maybe one or two, were not the Japanese ones never fought in Ryzen. It's not. It's and Tyra also and Saruya. You know, these guys are not. They're deliberately not going to Ryzen. So in terms of roster
You
depth,
think that's for the money? You think that's for the money
no,
only?
no. It's because they see it because UFC is number one to them. That's their goal. Ryzen is not. Ryzen is just will just be an unnecessary side quest for them. So they would rather stay in Shuto hell than fight in Ryzen.
But
What?
see, they're seeing guys like Kai, now Horiguchi,
But
and
that is the
previously
problem. See,
Jiri and
that's the
Kate.
problem. I remember we had this whole discussion before. Like Kai going to UFC was going to be a big problem because he was going to bring a whole bunch of people with him, and we're kind of seeing that generation that grew up with Kai kind of following that.
But you don't see them saying, "Hey, I can go if I become champion in Ryzen, that could get me in the door of UFC."
I think more for the international fighters. I think that's more of an international fighter thing that they can do that. Plus, we've seen fighters who become champion in Shuto and Pancrase and Deep. You know, there's still people who fight in Deep. I think isn't Mizuki still the strawweight champion? I think or something, or she held it for a long time while still in UFC. So that doesn't matter. You know, the Ryzen belts. You know, that's I think international fighters see that more as an opportunity to, I guess, pad their credential and maybe get more money with a UFC offer down the line.
Well,
I
see,
think.
hopefully that's going to be changing because Ryzen is putting on big shows,
Well,
dude. They're
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, Joe.
20,000 plus.
That doesn't
They're the
matter.
only pay-per-view viable company
That
left
doesn't
that can
matter.
that can offer a good fight
Wh-
purse.
Why? Why?
Dude, come on. These are prize fighters. They're not
The
they're not
prize.
all going to want to take less money for the UFC.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. Like I can tell you, a lot would. And also, when it comes to prize money, the ones who are making the money are like the Azakuras or the Haruoyas. I'm trying to think of like non-AT JTT fighters that are in Ryzen. The Apache mixes. It's not your Yuito Yanigawas, if he came to Ryzen, would not be making anything close. Would not even make a third or
What about like Ryzen Prince Akimoto? You think he's making some good coin?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Because
he's Mikuru Economic Circle, so I think he is. Yeah.
because remember Shadalayev, he was already supposed to be in the UFC. They prevented him from being poached and re-signed him to his most recent contract. So, they have it in them. They have the money to keep these guys and give them purses. Just, the will to actually do it.
Mhm.
So I don't
Yeah,
know. I just don't see it as like everybody
I'm
because
not,
these are
and that's
prize
not
fighters.
everybody. Let me. They're not every. And also, prize. Here's like prize fighting. That's an American concept. That is not a. That is not an international. That's not an Asian or
So
South.
you think that they're gonna take less money just to get the prestige of the UFC?
Yes,
Okay,
I
all
can
right.
confirm that. I can confirm that Naoki, had he not lost Danny Sabatel, would have probably been in UFC and gotten that and taken it for less money.
Okay, I mean,
I think Kai is even making less money. I think Kai is making less money than he was in Ryzen. I believe.
okay, but I mean, but UFC also, I mean, they're lowballing guys. Like
Yeah.
my favorite example that I like to bring up is Nemkov.
Well, also say
Your favorite.
Parnas. You brought Parnas before. Yeah, they will ball him.
Yeah, dude, they're
But
they're lowballing these guys. So to me,
well
Ryzen should
then
jump in there and make and snag these guys, get all these guys, bro. That the UFC is
here's the thing.
balling.
It may be low balling, it may be a UFC low ball, but it may be too much of a Ryzen high ball if you think
But
about it.
see that's what that makes
Because
me so mad.
here's the other thing as well. Because also,
You know
sorry,
what I'm thinking of is stupid Mayweather.
well,
All
yeah,
this money
but
they pay
also,
to freaking
yeah,
Mayweather.
yeah.
How come they can't afford a guy like Nemkov if they're gonna
It's
pay all this money
well,
to
and here's
Mayweather?
and also don't forget Nemkov's heavyweight and heavyweight's the whole thing. I think the last point I just would like to make about this before moving on to quickly on the other quotes is that I think the issue is that there is you can't expect Ryzen to just fork out all the money that they have for I bet Patchy Mix is making bank in Ryzen right now. I bet because he's got the UFC resume and Bellator and all that, but your prelim opening fight, 2 minute, 5 round, 5 minute, 2 round fight guy is not, or whatever kickboxer they get from Nagoya is probably making the equivalent of $2,000. I know one fighter who made $4,000, and this is and it's someone who was undefeated in RIZIN. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
So I know. So yeah, it's a low ball for them for UFC to do it, but for RIZIN maybe too much of a high ball, and also probably it's, in fairness, some of those guys on road to UFC are probably making the most amount of money ever that they've ever.
I don't know about that, bro. I mean,
compared Shuto's not. Shuto.
well, I just don't understand why Ryzen can't pay them. Dude, they're, like I said, they're pay-per-view viable. They're selling out 20,000 seat arenas consistently.
Why does that matter? Why would that matter to a fighter? That doesn't matter to a fighter.
Dude, and they paid Mayweather, they paid Pacquiao, they paid Garcia, all these boxing exhibition guys that cost them a boatload of money.
Take that
Why
up
are
with
they paying
Shingo.
those guys and they won't
Take that up with
break the
Shingo and
bank for
Sasahara.
Nemkov?
Take that. Well, you can't bring up Nemkov because he's heavyweight. There's heavyweight.
Why they're focused on heavyweight right now?
No, they're not, dude. They are. If that's a focus on heavyweight, then man, then they're losing their eyesight.
No, that's one of the focuses, because on the August 11th show has the mini heavyweight Grand Prix that they're building to for your favorite fighter, Sodakin. New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Anyway, I would like to move on. I really liked what JB. We'll move on to the mass-produced entertainment stuff. JBF brought a really good point, and this is a problem that RIZIN has. And remember, I even said I predict that RIZIN would go unified judging, not rules, unified judging by next year, but by this year, and they have. Here's the problem: RIZIN wants to simultaneously not be like the UFC, but at the same time they want to be UFC. And so what I mean by that, it's the same thing of like WWE, WWF. Right now, the problem is that every promotion wants to be like them, but they don't do it on the level that WWE does. So it's kind of like they can't walk and chew gum at the same time type thing. The reason why WWE is successful is because they're WWE. They can do whatever they want because they're a market leader. Same thing with UFC. The problem is that RIZIN wants to copy it, and it's almost like it's a bipolar thing. Sorry, I'm not trying to like. It's a mean thing to say, but like, yeah, they're saying, oh, we don't want to lose our identity. Meanwhile, you're doing exactly everything that is causing you to lose your identity, which is changing the rule set. Changing the judging. I'll say less the cage, but if you want to argue that, I understand that. Getting rid of the 10-minute. I think we gotta stop talking about it though, because that's like so long ago, and it's already been discussed. T-San's already told us why, because it's mainly because fighters have complained about of how grueling it is, and all that. And
well, what, dude? It'd be, if
well,
Sakakibara-san's complain about being getting too Americanized and being too, he's got to go back and stop trying to copy UFC and go back to trying to be like the Almighty Pride FC.
Yes, yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
Okay.
But also, I mean, the other thing also is that with the I'm trying to remember. Oh, what I lost my
we were talking about JBF's comment where he's talking about how they're
the tournament.
Americanized.
The tournament I was gonna bring up. Remember, the last time that they did a one-night tournament was when Kai lost.
Yes.
So, and they have not done it since, and that is not by accident. It's because the problem is that you have RIZIN has their agenda. All promotions have their agenda with what they want, the direction they want to go in, and for that one, they wanted Kai to clearly win that Grand Prix, but he could not. Had it been a few months after, guarantee probably Kai would have beaten Ogi Kubo again. But because Kai was injured going to that match, he couldn't defend the takedowns, and he got grapple fucked by Ogi Kubo, and Ogi Kubo won. So now the problem is, that's why they're not going to do the one-night tournaments anymore, because if the person who they kind of want to win gets injured but can still continue, then that kind of that gets
And
in the way.
that's stupid because they can still. What if they get injured in training and have to pull out of the fight?
You're right, but also that's something that's less unavoidable than getting injured in a fight. At least if say if like the fight, part two of the Grand Prix is in August, you get an injured, you can be in the finals are set for December. You can recover by then. Training, getting
Well,
injured in training could be the day before.
dude, remember this is why Scotty Cokes's Grand Prix would stretch out over a year plus, sometimes 2 years. Remember, because guys would get injured, they delay it more. Isn't that what happened with the Usman fight?
Yeah, but that's because but so if that's the problem, so if they want to, if they want to not be like America, then just sit or have it become content. I think it was a word that or whatever has to keep he says has to keep polishing identity that's it from UFC. Then simply just do everything the UFC does. Do the complete opposite.
Yeah,
Get rid
go
of the
back
cage.
to the Pride FC model.
Get rid. No more cage fight. Get rid of the cage. But
No,
yeah. But that's less likely to happen. But if you want to go the extra step, do that. Go back to the original judging, not this new triple D judging thing. Go back to the old one that Ryzen had, which may have been the original Pride one, but I'm not so sure if it was the exact Pride one or just a reworked version. But whatever that was, go back then. For some fights, doesn't have to be all of them. The Pride time, Pride 10 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe for title
like title
fights,
fights.
yeah, or main event fights if you want to do that,
Okay.
or if both fighters agree to it as well, maybe, and yeah, do that as well. The production
I would
means.
like to. Mhm.
Oh yes,
Okay,
Danny, go
right.
ahead.
Yeah, I would like to. I would like to say with currently with the new judging system, not to do thing impossible to bring back 10-minute rounds because you have round by round scoring right now.
That's
So
true.
yeah,
So then,
But
this is it
Daniel,
is what it
remember
is.
in All Might Pride FC, they would do a 10-minute first round and then two 5-minute rounds afterwards.
but no, but he's right. He's right because the problem is so the scorecards are judged on 5 minutes, 3 rounds, zero. So and there's the math. I think the problem is the math with the must system thing.
But
I
if there's
think
still 3 rounds, if they do 10, 5, and 5,
they might have to do like where someone is just picked as a winner, and it's just like these are the criteria you judge by, and you just you check a box. That's maybe what they might have to change.
well,
Uh,
I think they should, like you were saying, I think they should just go back to the original, old school as a whole scoring. Forget the round by
um,
round stuff. Go back 10-minute
yeah.
first. Just copy the
So
Pride FC model.
I want to go also. I'll just quickly say, two foreign fighters. That's happened in title fights have happened in Ryzen for us. I don't think there's any problem with that. As for international attention, it depends too. Like Patchy Mix got immense attention when he signed to Ryzen, and
Yes.
but it was not a title fight, but it was because it was Patchy Mix. So
But,
it's
Ryzen was getting international attention before the pandemic as well.
more
Remember?
so, well, more so, yeah, definitely more so. Um,
Okay, but you're absolutely right. Patrick Mix did bring international attention. I'm glad that was my favorite quote, as you know. He's talking about international champions and having a international title fight, how that bring international attention and stuff.
yeah.
So that's what
So
I've been saying this whole time,
yeah.
and
So
Todd's been saying.
here's the other thing. I think I'll be my last treatsy, I guess. See, when he says that he talks about the pricing of events, that has to be lowered. I would say both for America and for especially Japan, because Japan Ryzen Live is I think the equivalent of $60, and excuse me, like some of those shows do not. That Sendai show didn't should not have been priced anything above $30 in my opinion. And I think for us, and I'm not counting the subscription price, but the 19 even the subscription price because technically if you're subscribed you're paying technically $16.99 for it. I think that's still too low. That should have been one of those free shows or at least $9.99 or something for us, I guess.
Well, you already know my position on this. They should definitely, for the lesser events on paper, they should definitely give those away for free to entice people
Yeah.
to get the subscription for the bigger shows.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, it would be great if like all the landmark shows could be that, but obviously they're not going to do that. But
Well, they've been upping the quality of landmark shows. They've been putting title fights on them now. The most recent show that we just had was probably the weakest card on paper, and it still delivered the violence. But you know, this next landmark show, they've upped the quality again.
yeah, well, that's
I,
that's
I
another interesting discussion where I think you need to kind of this is a problem with monthly events is that you're stacking. I almost dare to say you're stacking the wrong shows. The number shows should be the ones that are stacked, and the landmark shows are the ones that should kind of have maybe stacking fourth and third, second main events on all that stuff, but not below. So I think I that's a whole other thing, and because then
I actually like it that they're doing. You know, they're
Mm.
giving landmark at least one title fight
Yeah,
each landmark now.
well, here's the but then the problem is that next time that they come to Sendai and they don't have a title fight, like that happens, you're kind of I feel like you almost shoot yourself. You almost have to over deliver every time. I know what I'm saying, but like if you I don't want to say you should under deliver a show, but almost you kind of have to keep you have to keep the fans thirsty coming back for something.
Well, then if they like maybe they can do a show like we were saying, offer a free show if it's got no title fight on it, and they're going to save that for the numbered shows.
Yeah.
Offer a free landmark with no title fight on it to entice people to get to the next one.
But I'll tell you this:
That's
the complaint I always see from Japanese fans on social media is about the pricing of events. And I know it's different for us because we're here, we're paying a low price, whatever. But I can say that the fans who I've talked to very much are the problem is it's good for now. Yeah, they may be making money now, but listen, that can change at any time, and it's better to kind of rectify that now.
I agree 100%. I think they should, for the obvious lesser quality on paper cards, they should definitely lower the price for them, like you said, to $30
Well, no,
to Japanese
I
fans.
think all landmark. I think you have to really differentiate between landmark, numbered, Super Ryzen / other super shows. I think you really have to do that because even if they don't have a title fight, a landmark show doesn't have because there's even don't forget there's even some numbered shows that don't have a title fight.
No,
But,
I think every single show this year has had at least a title fight on it,
not the
if I remember correctly.
I don't think did the first show of the year have the Apache Mix Akimoto? I don't think that one had. Did it?
Yeah, remember, didn't it, wasn't that Nazimov knocking out?
No, that was New Year's Eve.
Oh, that was New Year's Eve?
Yeah, that was New
I
Year's
thought that was
Eve.
the first one in March.
No.
You're making me look it up.
I don't believe what I thought that was because remember Bay Noah was supposed to fight Nazimov, but Bay Noah got injured and then they had to sub in. Remember because they did all the title fights for New Year's Eve. Remember Shadolayev and Nikaru. And I think co-main was Nazimov and Satoshi.
Yeah, Ryzen 52 that didn't have
That's what I thought. Yeah.
title fight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I stand corrected.
So almost all of them. So, but your point still stands. I get it. But I think you really have to price, and that's the thing is that like obviously, and I hate to bring up UFC again, but obviously UFC doesn't have to worry about pricing because they're on a subscription service. And it's one set price. You know, Ryzen still does a pay-per-view model, which is both good and bad for that sense. Obviously, you want to make your money back, but you don't want to be charging a premium price for a show that, you know, and listen, I like the fight. I thought it was a great fight, but I don't think that Shinryu Okubo is the equivalent of 6,000 yen of a pay-per-view of a price.
They should give those away for free to the Japanese audience as well.
But they can't they won't do that. So at least like I think it should be lowered for Japanese audience, it should be lowered for us. I think the numbered shows should have like maybe I think those are like the 30 maybe $40 range, even with a title fight. Landmark 20-ish maybe. And this is I'm just thinking of like converting a Japanese into American. And then obviously Super Ryzen and big shows, those are the $60 ones. Those are the ones you're paying the big ones
obviously.
for.
Well, you know, for the smaller shows, if they would go back to the one night Grand Prix style old school style, that could be an
But
extra incentive to keep charging good prices.
also, but even no, that doesn't matter. No. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The other thing is that you want to make new fans, and I'll tell you how you make new fans by making things affordable. They may not have enough money for the $40 numbered show, but they want to tune into Ryzen show, so maybe they'll instead tune in for that $20 landmark show, and then they like it, they liked whatever they saw, then they'll save up money for the Super Ryzen show, which will be $60. That's what you want to do. See, that's one of the bad things about leaving Fuji TV was that was free advertising for them. They could basically you could just like flip the channels and Ryzen comes on, and that's how you make new fans. And that's how a lot of a lot of them discovered a lot of those fighters discovered it was just by flipping TV. A lot of the atom weight women would say. So without Fuji TV, you have to make it. It wasn't free would be great, but I don't think they're going to do that. So, but you have to think of something to do it so that the person who may be interested in MMA, who's never seen MMA or who wants to try it out, can afford it. And then you worry about them saving money for whatever the big show is later.
How about what if they do free shows on Fuji TV? Well, replays, I should say. Replay shows on Fuji
Well, they're not on Fuji TV anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, okay, well, what do they do free to air replay shows?
What do you mean free to mean like
Like on like TV?
Well, they need a TV partner for that. They don't have a TV partner.
Oh, so Abiba doesn't count as a TV partner?
Beam, they're not a TV channel. They're like
Oh,
they're a streaming service. So,
oh, okay. I thought that was like a TV
but I
channel.
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Also, here's the other thing about Japanese entertainment. Japanese entertainment is so weird. They never like to put anything out for free. This is just a weird thing. This is the same. This is the same the culture that will copyright strike Sam's account because he makes gifts. So this is it's entirely a whole new thing. It's so funny. Japan just discovered YouTube about like three Japanese MMA companies discovered YouTube about 3 or 4 years ago and started posting their fights. But it was impossible to find anything. And now all of these promotions air on YouTube where they put up like 3 or 4 of the fights. Ryzen kind of does that. So yeah, there was a remember at one point you could never find Ryzen fights. Once it was either watch on a fight or whatever, and then you could never watch it. You have to put on a fight or whatever. And then they finally discovered YouTube, and then all the other promotions followed. But
They do
yeah,
pretty well on YouTube as well. So,
yeah,
maybe that'll give them an incentive to try out maybe, like you all this stuff you're saying. Lowering the price, maybe giving away a free show here and there.
Listen,
Maybe.
I'm never gonna say no to a free show. That should be like the best case scenario. But I also just know it's not something they're gonna do.
Oh, okay. Well,
Maybe,
then what
maybe
about?
it would be.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, I thought that maybe it would be a nice idea to just, at least for a foreign audience, just to push more international broadcasters agenda, like any actually other promotion, like even K1, when they are launching the infographic with how to watch schedule, the same as, for example, PFL does. I think it would be nice thing, and I'm talking only about foreign markets and foreign funds.
But Daniel, Ryzen does those. They have. You're talking about the graphic where they do it, and it says every different country, the start times, and where you can watch. Right?
Yes, but basically you can watch everything for every country. You can watch on
Yeah,
Ryzen TV.
J Wolf also, and I still get messages to this day, and we see it in the Discord all the time. How do I watch Ryzen? Or when's the next Ryzen show? Here's the thing: people are dumb. You just have to understand that some people are dumb and never going to figure out shit for themselves, and they
Okay.
can't be helped. You know, if they were forced to try to walk a straight line, they probably would fall off as soon as their foot touched the ground. So you can't worry about those people.
Okay.
The
Well, then
thing,
I want to go back to your other stuff that JBF was saying. Like the main thing, what about bringing back the one night Grand Prix style? I mean,
They
That
have to
should
take that
be
with Shingo and Bara because I'm not good. I don't care either way, man. I know why they got rid of it, so it's not
but
like
that should be, for the that Kai one where he got injured, they had 20 other ones that went just fine. So this pisses
but
me
also
off.
remember T-San said because fighters and it's like Sayaki um talked about it. Deep CEO Shigeru Sayaki said that the
I,
fighters don't like it. Oh, sorry. So I heard a voice. I heard a
Saiki.
Polish voice.
Yeah, Saiki.
Yes, Sayaki, yes, said that fighters do not like the one night Grand Prix because it is a lot more excruciating and they are more injury prone after going through two, maybe three fights.
I don't know all about, because I mean, I've only seen fighters rave about them. They like getting paid 3 times. They like having the three
Uh,
fights. They basically get a year's experience in one night with 3 fights. I mean, there's so many benefits to it. It's just, I think there's a couple star guys that are saying they don't want to do it, and that's like ruining it for everybody else. So, I mean, and they're like the deep guy, and then they're putting out there saying, oh well, all the fighters don't like him.
well,
I
no,
mean,
obviously we know it's not all the fighters, but it's definitely if I bet it's a lot of fighters. And here's you talk about you want you listen if you want fighters to be happy, you I don't want to say you if you're number that's the problem that UFC if UFC could do whatever the fuck they want, Ryzen kind of doesn't have that luxury, kind of.
all right,
So
I mean, just it seems like, dude, if you got a star fighter that's making a lot of money, like let's just say Patchy Mix, for example. You mean to tell me he's gonna turn down potentially getting paid 3 times in one night?
there's no guarantee that no. So I where did you hear that you get paid three times? I don't know if
Or
that
two
may
times. I'm sorry. The
or
two.
no where'd you hear that
I'm
they
thinking
get
of the most recent successful one night Grand Prix that we just saw was in Glory, and or I guess King K1, and
so
they still do the three in one night, but Ryzen
I,
would be doing the traditional Pride style where it'd be two in one night.
so I don't know if I don't know if this is true, but so what I apparently heard about what PFL used to do with their tournaments was that so it was $1 million tournament. It wasn't like $1 million and your pay. My understanding was that it was basically you got only paid $1 million. So basically your fight purse equaled up to $1 million.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. But that's not getting paid, and that's not separate payments, man. That's one payment. You're not getting the other payments
Well,
as well.
that was how PFL would do it. You mean to tell me that Ryzen was not paying them their
I don't
full
know.
fight
I
for each
honestly don't know.
fight?
I'd be surprised if they were doing that. I honestly don't know.
I mean,
I
okay,
would
but
have to ask somebody who was actually in that how that worked. You have to ask like a Jiri or a King Mo.
I mean, Jiri, he loved them. I mean, it wasn't Jiri the proponent of the 10-minute rounds
But
and
also,
one night Grand Prix
yeah,
and everything.
yeah, and look at him now. Now he's getting knocked out by Carlos Ulberg, who's on one leg.
Dude,
So
he was about to win that if he just had a
yeah,
little bit higher fight IQ instead of doing the crowd pleasing stuff, trying to bang it out. He should
you
have just
know
kicked
if
that man's leg
do you
out.
know if Pride if they did that or was it I don't know because I don't know if Pride did that Pride I don't know
I do
exactly
not
I don't know
know
if it was
the
they weren't
purse
filling out I not
situation. Todd, do you know that? Did they pay the guys for the Grand Prix the same like a multiple purse for the one night Grand Prix in
In
Pride?
Pride? I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, Ansem might know, but I never asked him that
oh
That
actually.
is going to be a great
It's a
question to
Pride I
ask
never ever
for the
asked
next
anybody.
show.
Maybe you know what? I'll see if I can get an answer while we're on this. So you
because
Okay.
guys continue.
If Pride didn't then I there's no way it could be that Verizon
I
okay
agreed. But I mean, that's how it should go in theory, right?
yeah but also don't forget remember
You do
you
two
got paid
fights
you
in
got
one
paid with
night.
a suitcase and remember you would get paid with by a suitcase in Pride. I'm sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, dude, you would think that they would do it if they're going to fight twice in one night. They'd be fighting for two purses, and that
Yeah.
would be the incentive for the
Well,
guys to want to do
my
those.
my guess is that's why they don't happen in America because probably the commissions require that, which is why UFC. Well, UFC has
No,
made
that's not why it's the commissions are pussies in America because they're worried about damage and all this other shit. And dude, it's just the same thing. What they think is too dangerous for the fighters, and just the same bullshit. While they won't allow grounded knees, it's just the same type of pussy bullshit.
Again, so Jay Wolf, when we're talking about how UFC or Ryzen shouldn't lose its Japanese identity with this, if UFC, if that ever becomes legal in the United States, you do realize that Ryzen loses something, the only thing that separates them from UFC at this point, and that there's no what selling point for Ryzen is there?
Well, then they'll have to bring back the one night Grand Prix, and they'll have to bring
That's not
back
going to
10-minute
matter.
round.
We're talking about something that's unique and that they are the only ones who do, not like one where or that has the weird knee whatever thing, and then KSW where one fight is this, one fight is that, or whatever. The one night, and here's the thing, I think it's safe to say that one night Grand Prix are never coming back. But
Hey, they're legal in Oklahoma, so we'll see.
if SRE is adopted by UFC at some point, then really Ryzen has no identity other than.
But dude, you're that's not going to happen for many, many moons into the future, because at the most they'll do grounded knees like one. They're not going to do grounded kicks and stomps for years upon years into the future. So that's not going to be an issue.
I don't know, man. Listen, all the rules in UFC, I don't even know what's legal, what's not legal anymore. Apparently, grabbing hair is legal now in UFC. Raking your opponent's eyes.
Oh, you get 2 eye pokes per fight now.
Yeah, you might as well just. It seems like the only rules that are enforced are the grounded rules. Like, the only one that's like ever enforced. That's all the time. Like,
it's crazy. I know. So crazy, dude.
Anyway, I've talked so much. Give Daniel something, or give Todd something.
Okay, well, hey, do you guys want to keep talking about Sakakibara-san quotes, or are you ready to move on to the upcoming events?
I think let's move on because maybe Todd wants to say something about the quotes. But
okay, yeah, Todd, do you want to say anything about Sakakibara-san's quotes?
I already said that I just felt like it sounded like he was more forward thinking, but that's kind of what I took away from it. It wasn't anything really beyond that, to me at least.
Okay. All right, then let's move on to the events that are coming up here. Recently, we've had a bunch of announcements from Sakakibara-san, the CEO of the Epic Ryzen. And, let's just start off with the card is coming up here July 18th, which is Landmark 15, and that is Danny Sabatello is defending his belt against the Deep Champion. And gosh, I'm slipping my mind. What's the Deep Champion's name again?
Jinosuke Kashimura.
Jinosuke, yes, thank you, Daniel. Gosh, I can't believe it's because we're live right now. Even though this is recorded, it's still live for me right now. So anyways, Jinosuke and Danny Sabatello are gonna fight for the bantamweight title in Ryzen, and that was also announced for that card, Doubtbeck and Hagiwara, which is a massive fight. To me, that's a unofficial #1 contender fight, because if Hagiwara can win that, I feel like he's going to get put into a massive fight next, maybe even a title fight, or something with I don't know, maybe a last man standing title fight against Ren or something. I don't know, who knows. But I mean, that's because Hagiwara is either the second or third biggest star for Ryzen right now, their biggest draw. I mean, it's #1 is obviously Mikuru. #2 is debated. I know Drew doesn't like to say it's Ren, but I like to say it's Ren. And then he says,
sorry, I missed that. I heard Ren. What was it? I don't like what about Ren?
That he's the #2 biggest star in Ryzen. You think it's
quantifiably he's not. I'll say this: what I've been told, pay-per-view wise, yes. Ticket wise, no. That's what I've been told.
Well, then he can be 2A and 2B. Well, it can be 2A and 2B can be Ren and Hagiwara. How about that?
If we're talking about, I lean more towards ticket sales, because Ryzen depends on those more than pay-per-view sales at this point. There's still a live business thing.
So you won't even give me Hagiwara as 2B. You want him #2 solo.
Dude, like when the fact that his name got announced for Fukuoka, and if you look up on a map, Fukuoka is nowhere near Kansai, my friend.
It's maybe not nowhere near, but it's the 2 hours by the train from Osaka.
Yes. The fact that he was able to sell a bunch of tickets in a place that's far, far away from Kansai, Osaka. That is a major straw. That is straw. That is a major draw. That is drawing power, man. That is
Hey, you're not gonna get an argument from me. I told you he's my number three biggest star in Ryzen. So, but I'm stoked that he's on. To me, like, don't you agree? Here, let's go Daniel first. Don't you agree that if Hagiwara is able to beat Doubtbeck, that puts him in a massive, like, pole position, number one contendership for maybe even a title or who knows what next, right? A big fight next, obviously. What do you think about the Landmark 15 card?
Uh, so many questions, but firstly, I would like to say that I have a news confirmed that Takeda's opponent in August will be Majima because Sasahara revealed that for a local newspaper. So yeah, we have
That's
another
August 11th.
card.
That's Ryzen
Yes.
54, August 11th, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And on X, we would have we will have an announcement in 45 minutes around from the official channels of Ryzen. From what I could see, you asked me about the landmark.
Yeah,
15
Landmark
in
15
Hiroshima.
with Sabatello and Jinosuke, and then the big co-main event, the Doubtbeck and Hagiwara.
I will tell you what I like especially on the card. I would say Doubtbeck against Hagiwara can be a really good fight, can be a great fight, especially if Doubtbeck won't try to take him down. If not, I don't think that it will end up by a decision. I think that Hiroya against Erson has a good potential because from what I remember, it's a rematch uh, for the first clash. I think it was maybe 2 years ago or something. I like the comeback of Siu Park. I like the comeback of Saori Yoshima. I really like this fight, and I think it can be a bit, I would say, underrated. Shoji against Genji Woman. Because okay, they can't give Genji more all-rounded opponent because he will end up out-grappled or out-wrestled. But Shoji is way past prime. He's a brawler, not even striker. He's a brawler, and for Genji at the moment, this is the perfect opponent both for Umeno and for a public entertainment wise. Okay, we have a welterweight back of big Ryzen welterweight division, but maybe it's not necessary to talk about it too much.
No. I love that because you know me, I want them to expand to welterweight. And Daniel, you consistently have a great idea for expansion, which is the strawweight division.
Yes, but about the welterweight, if they would have an idea for it, maybe not even to keep it as high as possible level wise, I would be cool with it. But here we have veteran Shinji Sasaki against Yota Hayashi, who is a local hero, I believe. He's from Hiroshima or something like this. No, he's from Kansai, from Osaka. And here we have a typical, I would say, semi-local matchup. But you know, I like guys like Abe. He is entertaining fighter. You can say what you say about him, about his level, but I think that's not a lot of boring fights of Hiroyuki Abe. I may say, am I right? Daiichi Abe, sorry, Hiroyuki Abe is. Yeah, is a different person. Yeah, Daiichi Abe, of course. Hiroyuki Abe, I think he is a coach of AACC. but I may be wrong about. Yeah, I think I'm right now. Johnny Case comeback against Kenya.
Yes. I'm glad you brought up Johnny Case. We just did an interview with Johnny Case. Andrew, the We Are Rising podcast did an interview with Johnny Case as well. Some great interviews with Johnny Case. Make sure you guys go check those out on the Ryzen Report interview and the We Are Rising podcast interview. Please continue, Daniel. Thank you.
I like the fights of Tatsuki Shinotsuka, but I have not a lot of info about his opponent Jae-Hoon Lee. He is not a very experienced fighter, but still more experienced than Shinotsuka because he has 4 fights. Shinotsuka has just 2, and I think it will be wrestling clash of wrestlers. Shinobu Ota against Irisbek Tilenov. The Kyrgyz, from what I could see, is a wrestling-based fighter, ground and pound based fighter. And it will be really interesting how Ota will deal with another wrestler, but with from other the wrestler from other country, because we could see that against Sabatello, he couldn't do too much. Of course, he won with Kintaro, but Kintaro, let's say, is a very beatable opponent for Ota. And Tilenov is a younger fighter, I think he's a less experienced fighter a bit. And this will be a good test, and we will see how the foreign scouting of Ryzen works, how another fighter from Kyrgyzstan will do in Ryzen against an experienced opponent that Shinobu Ota is undoubtedly is. Dani Sabatella against Jinosuke Kashimura. This has a good storyline. I think it's a very one-sided matchup, but it's based on the scene where Sakakibara said to Dani Sabatello that he needs to finish his opponents, and this is the test if Dani Sabatello can finish people. And a lot of nice, I would say, a lot of nice storylines, and this is the main event. Of course, it's not a unexpected thing because this is for the belt, basically. But I think we have very interesting cards at the end of the day. Of course, we have a prelims. It's not.
It's definitely a step up.
Kickboxing fight.
It's definitely a step up on paper from the previous event, right? It's definitely a lot better on paper so far from the previous events. So,
yes.
What's your thoughts on Dalpek and Hagiwara? Yeah, you haven't said that yet.
I said a couple of things about it. If Karshiga won't try to take Hagiwara down, we'll have banger, and I just guarantee that it won't end by a decision.
Okay, cool. Drew, what do you think about the Ryzen Landmark 15 card? Daniel just pretty much ran down the whole card there. That was excellent, Daniel. Thanks for doing that quick rundown real quick. But what do you think about that card, Drew? With your favorite, one of your other favorites, Danny Sabatello, and then talk about the huge your second biggest draw, Hagiwara.
I'll say this, when they first announced it, it was kind of like, it was horrid. It was like, we're getting a Shinosuka versus a Korean jobber. We're getting Sabatello versus probably Shoko Sato, which didn't obviously turn out to be. I'm trying to see, they announced, I think the only match that when they initially they announced the prelim, they also announced Oshima. Was it Oshima? No,
that was part of the most recent.
Yeah, you're right. They announced those prelims, and it's just like, oh no, oh god, oh no. And the only match that really, even Case and Tenya, because listen, you have two guys that miss weight, and it's kind of like, oh no, you're kind of just asking for trouble. But the only fight that really stuck out was Dalbeck versus Hagiwara. But then the second press conference, it was like, oh no, they also announced the Ota fight, and it's like I don't give a shit about that. Ota versus Talenov. So yeah,
Well,
it
I
was
want to see how Talenov can do. I mean, this is Talenov's debut, right?
in RIZIN, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a pretty tough debut for somebody. So I mean,
Mm,
I'm pretty excited.
Ota.
That
Here's
he's
the thing
got high
about
hopes for
Ota.
him.
Ota's wrestling is the least favorable for MMA. I believe he's freestyle, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's Greco-Roman, right?
No, I think is he freestyle or Greco? I always get these confused.
I
Daniel,
think he's
enlighten me.
Greco-Roman Olympian.
I'm just checking, and he's from Greco-Roman style.
Okay, Greco-Roman is not MMA friendly. The most no, yeah, I got okay. Now I remember. Greco-Roman is not MMA friendly.
Oh, Randy Couture disagrees.
That was a different era though. He was a different era and also heavyweight. Freestyle and whatever you want to count Dagestani / Sambo are the most MMA adaptable to MMA for that because it's just I think Greco-Roman has like those weird rules where like you can't tackle below the knee or something.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like only upper body throws.
Yeah, so
No,
dumb.
no leg.
Exactly. It's dumb.
Takedowns and
It's
stuff.
stupid.
Takedowns.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
dumb and stupid. So that's why it works only. That's why there's not a lot of Greco-Roman guys who become successful in MMA or really like go on to like the collegiate guys, the NCAA guys and the freestyle guys are the most successful, and then also Dagestani Sambo guys. Anyway, so yeah, Ota's wrestling is not this beautiful display of Olympic. First of all, he got the silver medal, and I think what was it who I don't know if it was Gordon Ryan who said it, but he said he would rather get a bronze medal than a silver medal because silver medal means that you can't beat you can beat the second shittiest guy, which is the bronze guy, but you can't beat the best. So you're kind of stuck in between. So I think I was Gordon Ryan who said something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that's easy for him to say. He's never was Olympian.
Gordon, I mean, okay, but yeah. So I don't
I
give
mean,
a shit about
this
that.
is an Olympic silver medal we're talking about.
Yeah. So and Greco.
Still, I mean that's a pretty cool. I mean, there's been other successful Greco guys.
Anyway, I'll get to the point that
Okay,
it was not looking good, and then they were like unloaded the guns, So I am Sabato versus Kashimura. Kashimura can submit you. He's not on the level of Kleber, but he's maybe the second best jujitsu, maybe third if you want. Maybe put Majima over him. Satoshi. So maybe he's a fourth. I don't know.
Just put him in top five. No,
top five,
there you go.
Yeah. And Sabatel's already been submitted by Umar or was it Usman? I've lost my track at these Clarkson guys, but one of Khabib's cousins he submitted him. So there's that
Magomedov.
the easiest one, Magomedov. Oh yeah. So that means Kashimura can do it if he can possibly submit Sabatel. It's gonna be a tough fight. I don't see Sabatel knocking out Kashimura at all. And
Oh, you don't think we're gonna see an appearance of K1 striking Sabatello?
No, there was never any K1 striking.
Yes, there was. This is Ryzen debut, the new mythical fighter, K1 striking Sabatello.
I think after Case, I talked to Case and I saw your interview with him. I'm kind of a little bit more excited. Sounds like he's back on track. Hopefully Kenya.
That's what he was saying. He was saying that he's already, he's on schedule with his weight cut, all that good stuff. So
yeah.
he's learned his lesson, taking it to heart about not missing weight. He knows that's what, and he knows the assignment about the superior rule set. So I mean, I'm looking forward to this fight, big time.
Kenya, hopefully he makes weight as well. So, if everything goes well, that fight can be good if everything goes well. Again, Shinosuke and the Lee fight is there to get Shinosuke a win.
Talk about the Dalbeck Hagiwara.
Yeah.
That's the second biggest, or maybe even arguably the biggest fight on the card.
Yes, but here's my hesitation with that fight. It is great on paper. Let's wait to see if Dalbeck makes it to the actual show because this guy, I think the only guy who was getting more injured or having more ailments was maybe Kai. When Kai would have a fight announced and then like breaks his hand opening a door or something. Dalbeck's, he had then he had the stomach or like he has had so many injuries, health
And then he
issues.
wouldn't fight his brother from another mother.
Yeah.
That whole saga.
He
I
said he
mean,
was going to go to 135 and then that didn't pan out. So he's back to 145. So maybe that'll make him more healthy.
it
But
sounds like you're rooting for Hagiwara as well.
well, no, but also the problem with Hagiwara is so if Dalbeck does make it, you have two advantages in this fight. One, you know that Hagiwara does not know how to break a tie clinch, as we saw with the Abijah fight, and grappling. So depending on how Hagiwara fights, and at this point, I have to pick Dalbeck just based on pure MMA experience and
That would be the smart pick,
yes,
obviously, because he's got. I mean, we still questions about Hagiwara's grappling.
yes,
But what if Hagiwara pulls it off? That's
it's
huge.
possible, but also the other thing is that I don't see Dalbeck willing to brawl with Hagiwara. That would be dumb because I think Hagiwara wins that. Dalbeck comes from TMT Thailand. I believe that's he trains there. Or
Well, remember the Kubo fight that he sort of took the out on with the eye
no,
poke.
no, he got
He
eye
was not
poked, man.
grappling in that one.
He got eye poked in that, and I'm really I give more credence to eye pokes now because also don't forget as well. So I don't know if I ever told you about this, but someone took a photo of so when the eye poke happened, Kubo's finger went down.
Yeah, scratched him, put a
Yes.
scratch on
So
his.
listen, now I in this day and age where if a fighter is not 100% with something like that, there are some, it's a case by case because then if he wanted to take the easy way out, then I have to assume that for every other fight where that happened, he wanted to take an easy way out. I can't do I can't do that for Tom Aspinall. I can't do that for Ilya Taporia. It's
Oh,
just
that's fair. That's fair. But
it,
so what if it is a good fight though? And what if it is
yeah,
a banger?
it can be. It can be, but also depends on how the fight can be good depending on how Dalbeck fights and what Hagiwara uh
Because I
what do
mean,
you guys think?
Dalbeck was not taking down Kubo. If Kubo was able to keep it on the
Yes.
feet and sort of get
That's
the better of him
Kubo.
on the feet,
Kubo's progressing better.
you think so?
I
Okay. I
think
mean,
so.
Hagiwara is kind of progressing pretty good as well too, in my opinion. I mean,
That's the thing. He'll so like Koji Takeda couldn't submit him. He even swept Koji Takeda. And then suddenly Real Takagi, who has no submissions on his record, submits Hagiwara by Charles Oliveira him. So it's just like it depends on like what Hagiwara. If Hagiwara defends stupidly, then that's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
And also coming from Tiger Muay Thai, he's gonna make use of that tie clinch, and that's what I would use against B Hagiwara because that's what he got beaten with.
So you don't think he's corrected that by now? Okay, that's fair. Well, we'll see how that goes.
I don't think it's
What
either.
about
Yeah, sorry, go
what
ahead.
about the main event? Do you think that Sabatella, like Daniel was saying, this is his like fight for Sakakibara-san told him he's got to finish again. He
Yeah.
got the first finish again, and now he's got to do it again. Do you think he's gonna be able to get that done against Shinosuke?
No. I think Sabatel is going. I don't see Sabatel submitting him. I don't see any ground and pound. I don't see I don't see him knocking down. I don't think does Sabatel even have any knockouts on his record? I don't think he has any other than the
Yeah, the one
slam.
that got in Ryzen.
No, but that was a slam. That was an inadvertent reverse
That
pile
still
driver.
counts. Come on, that's a finish.
O-
Counts.
Ota knocked out himself.
Ota knocked out himself. Yeah, that's basically what happened.
From a slam from dude, he didn't just fall into the mat by himself.
It's the same one that happened with Jose Torres and Monkey God, Jared Brooks. It's the exact same thing.
All right, all right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So you don't think he's gonna be able to finish Jinosuke? Okay, but you did admit that this card after the second press conference,
Yes.
it's excellent.
I want to also throw out. Listen, I am a fan of the Hiroya Erasan, and I think that fight should have been made way earlier. I really think that should have. I don't know what the whole deal of Ersan is. He'll just almost rise as like a side quest at this point. He'll just appear out of nowhere. It really is like. Remember, he didn't fight for like 3 or 4 years, and then suddenly just reappeared out of like nowhere. So, but yeah, this fight, I'm really that fight should be really looked forward to because it's kind of like a big what if like, or like I can't predict like right now, like because Ursan's chinny, his submission game defense is terrible, his wrestling is all that he has, but yet Hiroya is kind of also not. It's a weird fight, but I like it.
I mean, Hiroya's shown some improvement on grappling, so you got something that's going to be a banger, I think. So we'll see.
I think
But you're absolutely right that card is just, I mean, a vast improvement from these previous two cards, right? This was definitely a pay-per-view card. This is
the Park Suda fight is fine. I probably would have preferred it. I don't know. But obviously they're gonna put the two lower names on and fight each other. Not gonna put like the Reina or Kate Lotus on that right now. So I get why they did that. But yeah,
well, Kate Lotus is on the next card we're gonna talk about, which is the August 11th card.
The Oshima Yiji Lee fight is just for her to get her win back because Lee somehow beat Oshima. So that's the only reason why they're booking that. Shoji Genji makes sense because Daniel explained before. The welterweight fight is nonsense.
Oh, dude, because I love it that they're actually in a welterweight fight. No, there's a big welterweight free agent on the market right now.
They're not going to come to Ryzen. But here's the no, is he still one?
No, remember he was there. There was rumored that he's gone from one.
Oh yes,
he was supposed to sign with UFC.
Yeah, okay.
And just recently, I mean, something's happened. Maybe the UFC lowballed him or something. So
he's going to go to PFL or somewhere.
Listen, gosh, I knew you were going to say that.
Ryzen is not going to put Soldic versus Shinji Sasaki. It would be almost promotional malfeasance to do.
No, they could bring in Soldic to run the welterweight division and moonlight in the middleweight division, and use him to expand their roster.
Against who?
To bring in more guys. We just got the quote from Sakakibara-san talking about it doesn't matter about having international fights even for the championship. That gives international attention.
You would want Soldic to take on Rice Hayashi, 12-9-1.
No, there's other welterweights. There's plenty of welterweights out there in the world to bring in. Just get Soldic to run the division at the top. You got a bunch of other guys in there, including the one that's on that 115.
So before
we are talking about the fight that should be taken as a typical local thing.
Yes,
in my opinion.
All right. But you know me, Daniel. I want to talk about expansion.
I want to say something as well. One, Hime should not be on the prelims. She has had enough fights. I think she's worthy of being on the main card.
Well, this card is so stacked that she's on the prelims. So,
also,
Andrew, are you saying that PFL dreams are overruling Ryzen as well? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, surprise! Look who PFL has signed, because also here's the thing: PFL has a TV contract or has a contract with Unext. So, Unext is pushing Japanese fighters to go to PFL.
So we have to worry about PFL dreams now too?
No, I don't think. The great thing about it seems like PFL is much more. It's kind of like operating with the Ryzen thing, where they're kind of a little bit more, I guess, more mercurial. They're not as stringent with their contracts as they were before. So, and they're signing good fighters. They're signing undefeated fighters. They just signed the Combate Global woman, boxer lady.
La Loba.
Yes, La Loba. They just signed the guy the Peruvian guy.
Kind of closed down after that signing because Kimbo pretty much put everything behind her.
So because also don't forget whoever is backing them obviously does not care about debt because they're just everybody's like, oh, this is the year PFL is gonna die. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of how every year people say, oh, TNA is gonna die, and then TNA never dies. It just
we'll see because remember PFL's ESPN contract is up.
But I guarantee they're talking with other entities.
Okay, but if they don't go back to ESPN, I mean, I know you like the PFL. I do too. But, I mean, I'm pretty pissed off that they got rid of the tournament structure. I'm not going to lie, but still.
Well, they did, and then people complained about the tournament structure, and then when they got rid of it, they're like, no, bring it back. So it's like...
they should have never listened to those, UFC trolls telling them to get rid of the tournament structure.
Yeah.
But you got to go with something, Drew?
Yeah. So no. I just want to bring up
Okay.
2 quick points. One, my cousin Benjamin is also fighting on this card. He goes by that's what the name he goes by when he fights is Benjamin. I have no idea why, but that's his. That's he's fighting, which is funny because I was like, he's from I didn't think he was from that region. We're getting a lot of Osaka Kansai guys on this show, and he's from Okayama, which is even more remote. So it's like just funny, like that they're kind of picking fires from all over the place for the show. Also, we're getting an unofficial kind of Koshin, not title fight, but opening fight. Can you believe there's a two 16-year-olds fighting on this show?
Yeah, the amateur fight. Yeah.
Yes. And can I say that's like my third like fight I'm looking forward to the most? I don't know. It's always cool to see. I'm fine with Ryzen doing those type of prelims. I would rather see that than fucking dog shit kickboxing. I think and Nikki said it best. Like just stack your prelims with MMA. Stop with the kickboxing. And I think that's the
Yes,
one
hey,
thing.
you're preaching to the choir on that one. You know me, I want as many mixed
Or if,
martial
if
superior
or you
rules
know
set mixed martial arts belts as possible.
when Bob was talking about why do fighters want to go, all the kickboxers want to go to one because you guys aren't giving them fights. You're not, you know,
Yeah, you're sticking them on the prelims.
yeah, yeah,
So, but
so
we talked about Lamar.
I'll be right back, guys. Hold on
Yeah,
for one
yeah,
second.
yeah.
Continue talking.
Okay.
Only 1 point from my side. I was wrong because Hiroya against Erson is not a rematch. I have messed up with Erson against Ryuya Fukuda when
Oh,
Erson got caught from what I remember, and the fight had to be ended. But by the way, as Andrew said, really good matchup, and it should happen a bit earlier. But by the way, I like it and really looking forward.
nice. So you give this Landmark 15 card on July 18th 2 thumbs up as well, then, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yes. Todd, what do you think
Uh,
about this card that we've been talking about right now? Landmark 15 with Sabatello and Hagiwara and all them.
You know, I'm kind of different because I don't necessarily think about cards necessarily. It's more like significance for me. Like what is significant about a card or what?
Okay, I'll tell you right
Yeah.
now. I think that this one is getting back to the theme of this year, this Sakakibara-san said, which he said he called it World War Japan Japan versus the world, but I just want to call it Japan versus the world, where he's bringing international guys and having more international matchups. That's where that quote came from, where he's talking about how he doesn't mind about having an international champion, having international matchups for the title, all that good stuff gives us international attention. And I believe this card right here is getting back to that theme because we start out the year really strong with a bunch of international guys, and the main one that everybody remembers is Ryzen Prince Akimoto versus Patchy Mix. Sensational, just knockout, superior rule set knockout of Patchy Mix by Ryzen Prince Akimoto, and then we sort of got into some Japanese centric cards, I'll just call it. But now we're getting back to the international cards, and with this Landmark 15, it's loaded with international guys, great matchups. So I guess that would be a significance for you,
Well,
Todd.
what I meant was, remember what I said on the Johnny Case show. Sabatello, for example, and this goes out to all fighters. Sabatello revamped his career in Ryzen. And Daniel and I were talking about this before. It may have been Dan or I'm pretty sure it's me and Daniel were talking about before we came on. Like BKFC has given some fighters a chance to revamp their careers through a different method of fighting, right? So one thing that's interesting about combat sports, different rule sets. Sabatello wasn't all that exciting in Bellator. He was a decision fighter. People always say, oh, go decision, go decision. He's been a lot more effective in Ryzen because of the rules. So I think combat sports athletes can look at, some of them don't, they only see what's right in front of them. They don't really think about that. Guys can revamp their careers in different things than the UFC, but they're so fixated on the UFC. But maybe their skill set doesn't lend to the American rule set or something or maybe their skill set is better served in BKFC or something like that. So that's kind of was my point about significance of something like a Landmark, because Sabatello's had a lot of success in Ryzen because the rules favor more of his style, I would say.
Well, maybe that's what'll happen is Landmark 15. Maybe he gets the finish by grounded knees and proves Drew's favorite theory, the GSP with grounded knees theory, which is now the Danny Sabatello with grounded knees theory, where you take a grinding wrestler and you give him the superior rule set and see what he can do, and if he can get a finish via grounded knees. So we'll see. It's going to be a great card. That's July 18th on RIZIN.TV. Make sure you get the subscription, because then you can get this next card we're going to talk about, which is August 11th. There was some major announcements for August 11th that just happened recently as well. With the big one being the Ryzen Prince Akimoto is the one that just knocked out Patchy Mix. He's taking on the former champion, the one that could have been. This is probably a number one. This is definitely a number one contender bout. He's taking on Kleber Kyoki, and the winner of this is likely fighting Shadalayev, excuse me, on New Year's Eve. We call him Shad for short, but the featherweight champion Shadalayev, the steamroller Shadalayev, the just absolute monster. He's got 2 fights left. The UFC's pretty much already signed him. He's got 2 fights left with Ryzen, and we'll get into one of the potential rumors for him that's coming up later when we get to the Super Ryzen 5 card announcements. But for this one, it's going to be Kleber versus Ryzen Prince Akimoto, and the winner of that one is definitely going to face Shad on New Year's Eve, especially if it's Akimoto. I'm guessing if it's Akimoto, he for sure gets the Shad fight on New Year's Eve. If not, they might do some, collaboration bout with PFL, maybe AJ McKee or Kizriev. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But this is on August 11th. Huge fight. Kleber versus Ryzen Prince Akimoto. Definite number one contender bout for Akimoto, and just huge implications. There's some other fantastic bouts on that card, and just it just continues the quality that we're seeing. These past couple events that should have been probably free, like Drew was saying. Now we're getting into the Ryzen Landmark 15 on July 18th. Up the quality, definitely pay-per-view, as we were just talking about. And this one, August 11th, has a bunch of pay-per-view quality stuff on it, including we'll talk about with Drew, his favorite, the mini heavyweight Grand Prix, the 4-man heavyweight Grand Prix that kicks off on August 11th. I know Drew's going to love to talk about that one. And the winner of that is going to be, too bad it's not a one-night Grand Prix, but still, it's going to be pretty cool. You got some cool guys in there. And the winner is going to face Soldakin, the current heavyweight Grand Prix champion, on New Year's Eve, for sure. So that heavyweight Grand Prix is kicking off on August 11th. Then we got a bunch of other cool fights on there. And Daniel, you want to talk about that August 11th card? Starting with Kleber and Ryzen Prince Akimoto.
Oh yes, this is one of the best cards of the year, without any doubt. Stacked from the up to the bottom so far. We actually know and another matchup for this card. I mean Majima against Takeda. What can be very interesting because of different backgrounds, but both fighters has their base styles as a ground styles, because Majima is more like a strength grappler. Takeda is a wrestler. So yes, I'm really interested about that clash. Of course, Kleber against Kiyoma. I believe it may be an eliminator to the fight on New Year's Eve against Shaydulaev. It's very possible. Looking at the ladder of hierarchy of featherweight in 66 kilo. I'm less excited about Keito Yama against Noeru, but okay, let it go. Shoko Sato against Patchy Mix. It's like an intriguing matchup because Patchy will be back in the bantamweight.
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up. That was the other big announcement that just happened was Apache Mix was announced to be fighting Shoko Sato on this card. And Drew has a fantastic write-up. I'm sure he'll get to it on MMA Soccer. Everybody go check that out. Read, give it likes, read it, everything. Please continue, Daniel. Thank you.
You know, Shoko Sato may not be most entertaining fighter in the world, but he's incredibly inconvenient fighter for everyone. I remember how Sabatello struggled with Sato. I think this fight might ha might happen after his Ota win. I have to check it actually, but I remember that Sabatello had a lot of problems with Sato. Uh, on the other hand, yes, he pulled out split decision, but you can see uh, how many mm, how many power he needed to just enforce the decision. I would say. Joji Goto against Azizbek Temirov will be very interesting as well because we know what is Goto able to. Of course, he lost against Sabatella very clearly, but also he has wins against Jose Torres, against Taichi Nakajima. It's a knockout. We know that Goto had an official nickname, Mr. Twister, because of two wins in a row by Twister in RIZIN. But we can see that he can also can strike. And Temirov, who is a brother of Temirov from the UFC, former RIZIN fighter, made a big statement by knocking out recent title challenger in the person of Ryuya Fukuda. Yuki Ito against Aibek Gachkamatov. Wow, it's a hell of a matchup because we know that Ito is a striker primarily. Alibek is more like a striking orientated fighter. Yes, from Dagestan, but he is not a wrestler, but he's a sambo fighter. But more striking orientated as well. So
And Daniel, that one is a banger fight at flyweight that could also has potential to be a number one contender fight, right? Because
of course, yeah.
Ito, if Ito wins that, do you think he could be facing the champion next after that?
I think it's very possible. Of course, he lost with Erson, what is a bit, I would say, very unexpected thing, losing with Erson Yamamoto. It was in September last year, but his recent fight that happened in March when he knocked out Carlos Mota, and now if he would win or even finish another strong prospect from overseas, I think he would have a possibility to fight Shinryu in one of the following events. We know that we have a monthly thing right now, so I think maybe totally not in September in Osaka, but I think that November or October is very likely. Maybe more November, because we know that Shinryu fought last time in June. What I like, it's comeback of Kaiwen Lee, but against Arata Mizuno. I'm watching deep events, and I felt that it's a matter of time that Arata Mizuno will have his rising shot, and this is the time. Arata Mizuno is a deep featherweight Grand Prix champion. He lost against Gina Aoye for the title, but actually winning the whole Grand Prix thing, it's a big thing, and definitely a trade card for the bigger challenges in future, and we have it now. We know that Kyle Lee might not be last time in his biggest shape, because we knew that he had some health problems or something like this. But right now he has another chance to show against good featherweight prospect. I like the fact that Naoki Tanaka is back after his last fight. I don't remember the story, the direct storyline, but I think that Issa Hosokawa might. Okay. He lost against Patrick Usami, and under the kickboxing rules on New Year's Eve in 2024, and right now he will be making his MMA professional MMA debut against Naoki, and I don't think he will be a favorite in this fight. And Joe Hiramoto against Ryoma Shishimoto, I think Ryoma might be a good prospect. Okay, I can see that he is he is a participant of All Japan Amateur Shooter Championships, gladiator fighter at the beginning of his pro career. And okay, this guy is a Jolly. Okay, right now I remember.
Yes, Jolly, the breaking
Remember the
down
name,
fighter.
yeah, that goddamn nicknames. Okay, Jolly. So right now we have more entertainment orientated fight, but I think that Jolly shown us in his two first RIZIN fights that he is very dangerous against opponents, let's say on his level. And Joe is a brother of Ren. He has already 5 fights. Majority of the fights are in RIZIN. So yeah, this is the fight that you are feeling that both guys are in the right place to face each other. And as I said before, Kazuma Samajima against Koji Takeda.
Yes, that's the big breaking news that we're breaking here. Well, I guess this, as this recording, is before they officially announced it. But when you guys are going to air this, or when Todd's going to post this, so probably after the presser has happened when they announced that. Now, Daniel, what do you think about the heavyweight Grand Prix on this card? They haven't announced the matchups yet. What do you think those first round matchups could be? There's 4 fighters.
At the beginning, I won't tell you that I'm a fan of another heavyweight Grand Prix this year, but I like the fact that this is a local thing, Japanese only. The level isn't on the highest. Level isn't the highest, and I much prefer it than the last year's, because last year they have tried to make it more higher level like looking. We are taking our fighters from Japan, and we are taking another fighters from cooperating organizations from all over the world, and let's say we are doing the World Grand Prix, and we are trying to look very professional and high level. But the heavyweight is a problematic division that only a couple of guys is, let's say, decent. And they are definitely not in RIZIN, not even in KSW, let's say. Maybe Phil DeFries is good in KSW, but there's Phil DeFries and multiple levels below. There are other guys, yeah. But by the way, I think that this Grand Prix might have a chance to be very effective.
Nice.
Yes, I hope that we will see 2 or 3 quick knockouts, and we will actually forget it until the New Year's Eve, and let's say that supposed Soldatkin clash. I don't have any expectations. I would only want to see a lot of very quick finishes and something like this, and this is the end, because I don't think that it will be high level
Okay, so you want to see a bunch of first round finishes?
I think so, yes.
Okay, now Drew, this is a perfect segment to bring you in on this. Why don't you talk about your favorite heavyweight Grand Prix here on the August 11th show? And
Well,
then,
first of all,
of course, talk about all the other fights
After
after
that,
that.
maybe we should talk about what Ensign proposed. He was wanting to see the two twins fight in the first round.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask Drew.
yes.
What's the matchups that are we going to
Well-
see the twins, the Sudario brother? I mean, the Sumo brothers, Sudario and Kenshin?
I kind of
Hold on. By
I'm
the way,
indifferent.
Ensign just said every fighter was treated differently, but he negotiated his money aside from the purse, so he would have got two checks if he did a tournament. But
Okay,
he couldn't say
so-
that'd be the same for every fighter.
And he's talking about the Grand Prix in Pride. So he did get two checks. So it wasn't just one purse
No,
broke
J-Wolf,
multiple fights.
no. He's saying he
For
negotiated.
him, but he's saying not every
Yes.
fighter. Yeah, but he said
Well, still,
that would be the case for him if it,
There's no evidence that Ryzen would is probably Ryzen. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I can't say if they're doing the same.
hey, if they did it for Pride, maybe they're doing it for Ryzen.
Well, no, we have to ask a Ryzen fighter that. We'd have to
Okay,
ask.
well then, that'll be the next time you interview somebody that's been in the Ryzen Grand Prix. Man, I wish I would have thought about
So yeah, the lightweight Grand Prix was that was two, yeah. But that
Johnny and we talked about Johnny Case was talking about how there's the rumor of the future lightweight Grand Prix that's supposed to be coming up, and if he wins his bout right here, he's in prime position to be part of that. And so the next interview with him, we'll ask him, hey, for when it was a one night Grand Prix final, was that a single purse for both fights? Or was that two purses?
I may worry. He said, "I don't know because I didn't make the finals. Maybe it's if you make the finals, then
well, he would still know because he was part of the semifinals. So he would have known going in there if he was going to get two purses, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming, so yeah.
Okay. Anyways, let's back to August 11th.
So right now,
Ryzen 54 heavyweight Grand Prix, awesome.
Yes.
Right?
No. So right now, I'm gonna say I don't give a shit about it. The only fight I would be interested in, and I don't even know if I would want to see interested, it's maybe with a lowercase I, is Sudario versus his brother, because first these guys hate each other, then they seemingly made up, and now they hate each other again. They just
it's gonna sell like hotcakes in Japan, bro.
It will sell to a point, but also the problem is that I think the skill disparity, there's a major skill disparity between the two.
All right.
Okay,
what about Poeton's fight camp guy?
His punching bag?
Ed Polo King.
I don't care. I don't care.
I'm looking forward to seeing Ed Polo King. I sincerely hope they do those two matchups.
The one fight that is maybe slightly interesting would be Ueda versus Ed Polo King.
Well, that's what we're hoping for, right? We're hoping for the
but
two.
Also, how
brothers.
But you also know how See, here's the thing. Ryzen does this thing where we want to tell a story, and they're like, okay, we're gonna book it like this so that this happens. They kind of do like the opposite. Remember Bellator kind of like remember they were gonna do when they did the light heavyweight Grand Prix, they were gonna have Rumble Johnson and Yoel Romero right off the bat. And then obviously the fight didn't happen because Rumble Johnson, I think, got injured or something, and then passed away.
But hey, don't you think that the Sumo brothers would be a good storyline?
I mean, no, it's just there's no storylines except you just to make the dumbest fights possible, the most interesting.
No, that's your heavyweight derangement syndrome. The two brothers fighting would be a good matchup. And already said so. It would sell in Japan.
You're right,
and then Ueda and Ed Polo King. That could be a final in the semifinals, basically.
Yeah,
and then the winners would be a bonus final.
But I don't know if Ryzen is going to do that right off the bat, because they seem to kind of do this thing where we want to do something specific so that a certain path happens rather than just.
Well, see that was the problem with the heavyweight Grand Prix last year. Like Daniel was saying, they wanted to appear high level by bringing in these international guys that were not that good. they should have got the best. They should have got a bunch of Sodakins instead of,
No,
40
no, they
plus year
shouldn't.
old Daniel Jameses.
Anyway, I'm done. I don't care about the Grand Prix. The rest of the card, is pretty good.
Okay, all right. I tortured you
Um,
enough with the heavyweight Grand Prix. Go ahead, talk
well,
about the rest of the card.
yeah, Kay Lotus versus Noel. I
And oh,
can.
wait, and just real quick, I want to make sure you remember to plug your MMA Sucker article on
Oh,
Patchy Mix and
it
Sato.
was just news. It was just news. I had to do some news aggregation. Patchy
Well,
Mix
still plug
gets
it. I mean,
clicks.
come on.
Yeah, but there's
All
nothing
right.
like it's nothing that's groundbreaking. But anyway, Kay Lotus versus Noel. I really don't care. Kay Lotus is this, and this is the anomaly of Japanese MMA, where you can be the most mid fighter, and yet I think for her case is a little bit different, because she's pretty. Because I guess the only comparison that I could think of, I was trying to think of like who would be UFC's Kate Lotus, and it was probably Paige Van Sant. Paige Van Sant was probably one of top 5, top 10 worst fighters that UFC ever like just signs. Like really, no, honestly, like and the only way she got away with it was because she was a pretty face. If you want to see Michelle Watterson was good looking, I guess so. But Michelle Watterson was like one of the most boring fighters of all time for UFC. Um, so and I'll say this as well. I really recommend Aniki's video on why women's MMA is dead, and he makes a great point on the difference of how Ryzen promotes women's MMA. They promote the beauty of the woman. They came to the press conference in dresses. They're obviously wearing makeup. They're not, I don't know how to say it, manly. They don't look like they've been ravaged with 20, 30 fights. They still have a femininity about them. And that's what sells the atomweight division in Ryzen. Whatever left of it is there. As opposed to like, I think, if you looked at the women's MMA for the past, Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate. Oh my God, the amount of people that were thirsty for Misha Tate, like, yeah, exactly.
And
So,
Marlo's Conan as well. I mean,
oh yeah,
there was
yeah,
a bunch
exactly.
of them. And I kind of disagree with Aniki's video. I don't think it's dead. Maybe it needs an
It,
injection of
it
a star again. But I
it's
mean,
if it's not there, it's on life support.
okay.
It's
But
on major life
you
support.
know what? If Victor would come back, that helped
Oh, let's
inject
not get
it.
into that, man. Let's not get into that. Victor's dead at
That's
this
your
point.
favorite promotion, though. Come on.
So yeah,
Oh,
I don't give a
wait,
shit
wait.
about.
Continue
Yeah,
about August 11th.
Kleber Kilma is a fascinating fight. It's just, Kleber can always submit you. It's always a danger. I don't think Kleber's going to win, though. I think Kilma striking is going to. But listen, you make one mistake, you could be winning a fight. I think Yutaka Saito at least was winning, if was on his way to winning the fight that he had with Kleber, and then just one slip up and he got choked out. So it's entirely possible. It's a slight possibility. It's always there, but I don't think it'll happen this fight. Sato Pachi Mix is such an intriguing fight because I think Pachi Mix is cooked. I'm no longer, it's, even though he's my guy in the fantasy league.
You
Yeah,
broke the
sorry.
bank for him too. You
Yeah,
believed in him.
I was one of the biggest fans of his. Like I saw this guy almost come up entirely in Bellator and onto PFL and to Ryzen and UFC as well. And to just see his trajectory, like him losing to Archuleta the way he did, it was like, okay, he gassed out the first one, trying to go for that first round finish. And then he came back, he had the fights of Rafion Stotts. He submitted Magomedov, I think it was. Yes. And then had the great fight, the second fight that they had, and yeah, just all these guys, and he just dominated all of them. Kyoji as well. So it was just watching him just destroy all these guys, and he came to UFC and like whatever. He lost 2 fights. I don't think it's that big of a deal. There have been people. Dustin Port, no, not Dustin Port. Max Holloway lost his first fight in UFC. So I think when people like, oh, we now like now people were like saying that Poatan's like now is now like a scrub because he just lost a gain. So it's like, come on, like, and
Yeah,
then
UFC fans are fickle.
when he came to Rise, I was like, okay, this is a great matchup because this will show us where Patchy Mix is. Maybe that those 2 losses were anomalies or whatever. And no, it's clear that Patchy Mix is just cooked at this point.
Well, I
But
mean, is it or is it that
well,
Ryzen Prince Akimoto is just that
it's yes,
Ryzen
but
star?
I think on that day, Hagiwara could have beaten Patchy Mix, honestly. I
Ooh, I
really
don't
do.
know. I don't
I
know.
believe that Patchy Mix that showed up that night would have been murked by Hagiwara. I think
I mean,
most fighters on the featherweight division would have, not like Majima or
dude, Ryzen Prince Akimoto was looking fantastic. I
yes.
mean, that was his star-making
But
performance right there.
what makes the Sato fight interesting is that, I mean, it was always like a joke, kind of like Sato doesn't finish fights. He's like slow, boring, whatever. But he'd win. He'd get these wins, and then he had the Sabato fight in which I think that he won, and then he had the John Sweeney thing where he just, man, like blonde hair Sato just ripped him apart, and it was disgusting, like what happened. And so I don't know. See, that's the thing. If Sato does that to Sweeney, does that to Mix, what he did to Sweeney, then I think it's fair to say Mix is just. I don't want to say he's Bob sapping it, but maybe he's kind of, because you just don't go from what this guy used to be to what he is now without something. Like he said, he's not going to be drinking alcohol or smoking weed anymore. I don't think that's an issue.
Well, I mean, look, what's his age?
I think he's 30 something, but like that's not old.
Oh, no, no. If he's 35,
He's 32, 32.
okay, that's not that bad. That's usually the age when
But
NFL running backs start to
yeah,
decline.
but here's the other thing as well. So we'll have to see about the weight cuts, because I think this is 135. So if let's see how that weight cut goes, man. He's missed weight before, so you know, let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Godo versus Temarov's very juicy younger brother. I think I would have preferred Fukuda versus Sabatello than rather than Goto. But
Well, remember Facundo just lost to
I know
Timur.
that's I hated the way that Fukuda lost. I was like, oh, I wish they had done Sabatello, because Sabatello would not have done that to Fukuda. But I think it
And
makes
and
sense.
I agree with you because I wanted remember Facundo he scored a superior rule set finish
Hmm.
and I wanted him in a title fight and then Temirov got him
Which
fair and square. So
that should tell you that Ryzen does not care about that. And
well they
actually,
should.
I'll even say this. I do agree with that, because I'll agree with the fact that it was a finish versus Goto, who I think the fight that he won before was that the no, it was a Nakajima fight. I think that was the fight that he had before that where he knocked out Nakajima, and remember it was like 3 seconds in the second round, and then Nakajima retired, then unretired. Anyway, this fight makes sense. It does. I can't make a prediction right now because I have to do more. I have to kind of like do
That's all
some.
right. No, no, we're just doing a brief
Yeah,
summary, and then
Ito
we got to
Alibek
get
is
to the Super Rising
yeah,
5 for Daniel because it's
yeah,
getting late there, and I want him to
yes,
talk about Super
yes.
Rising 5 because he's gonna be there.
Ito Alibek is great. Just
Yeah, this is the banger I want to hear from you about. Do you
yes.
think that could be Ito Alibek? I think is a number one contender bout. What do you think?
I mean, I hope so. Just get some new blood in there. Problem is that Ito already fought Shinryu. So that's the
And
problem, is
he
that
beat him though.
no, Shinryu beat Ito.
Oh, he did? Oh, I'm misremembering then.
He wrestle fucked him. That's how you always beat Ito, is that you wrestle fuck him. So
It was close then, wasn't it?
oh, it was
Wasn't that
not
a split
close. It
decision?
was not a close
No?
fight.
Oh,
It
okay,
was
never
not
mind.
close.
Well, still,
Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess it is. Yeah, I mean, well, no, well, Laramie versus Shinryu is next anyway. So that
yes.
yes.
I'm talking about for after Laramie. This
Well,
Ali Beck and Ito could be the next contender.
maybe I think it would not, if Shinryu beats Laramie and Ito beats
See,
Shinryu.
well, remember that's what it was. Ito beat Laramie,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
yes,
what I was thinking is, what if Laramie beats Shinryu, and then if
yes.
Ito wins
That
against Ali
yeah,
Beck,
that makes more sense. That makes more sense. I don't think it makes, so if Ito beats Alibek and then Shinryu beats
no, Laramie
Laramie.
beats Laramie beats
No,
Shinryu.
if Shinryu beats Laramie, I don't think they want to do Ito Shinryu again, because it'll be kind of the same fights. I think
Okay,
so I think, dare I say it, that I think that they would rather sub in Hiroya or Ersan again.
Well,
Actually,
maybe
not
Abe.
Ersan, not Ersan, but probably listen. Hiroyo's getting a title shot some way, somehow, some way, and it
Well,
might
we'll
be
see.
just
We'll see what the performances are on that.
quickly. Mizuno, Kaiwan Lee. Mizuno's a weird guy because this guy just came out kind of like out of nowhere and is like, here's like he's 6 feet tall. He's tall for featherweight, and he's beating like actual MMA fighters, and he wasn't like some he's not some guy who like some like has some like big strong background in like K1 karate or whatever. He comes from like a weird small gym as well. There's not like a lot of famous people who come from there, so it's like it's I have to pick him because Chinese fighters just never win in Ryzen. It's just a thing now. Like um
That's a smart pick
yeah.
for you for the
Um
fantasy league.
Naoki Isa Hosokawa. I don't know if you so the big controversy with that fight with what's his name? Phil Patrick Kusami. Yuta Kubo gave the fight a draw when it was clearly not a draw, and his argument was, "I want to see it go another round," but I was wrong. So Kubo's not a smart guy. Yeah, I think Daniel was right. Naoki should probably just mow him down. It should be no contest. And then Joe versus Jolly. Apparently, he likes it's pronounced Jolie, like Angelina Jolie, not Jolly, supposedly. So yeah, that makes sense from like a stylistic point of view.
I think that's a banger. I agree with
You
Daniel.
can't
That's a
put
banger.
Joe against a high level flyweight like a Urson at this point. You can't do that. It's even Urson's probably a little more high level than Joe at this point, but it's a good test for both to see where if Jolie can put up with an actual
Well, what
fight.
do you think of the card though? You think the card overall is
Yeah,
pretty
so far
good,
it's
right?
good. Yeah, so far it's good, and the fights make sense. That's what I look forward to in a lot of for most Ryzen cards. If the fights make
Oh,
sense,
I see. I got you to admit it's a good card, even though it's got the heavyweight Grand Prix on
well,
it.
they haven't announced anything with the heavyweight Grand Prix, so far it's good. Once they announce the heavyweight Grand Prix, I'm probably gonna be like, fuck this. I'll deduct 2 points or something.
All right. Hey, Todd, do you have any comments you want to make about this August 11th card, Ryzen 54?
No, but we're kind of going long, so let's
Okay,
try
well
to get
let's
this
then
back.
let's get to the main one next. This is the Super Ryzen 5. There was just announced Striker Queen Reina is going to be facing the Russian Kuzia is her nickname, I believe. And gosh, I'm forgetting her actual name. Daniel will have it, but I want to that was just announced. And as you guys know from the show before, Super Ryzen 5 is going to have all the biggest superstars. Mikuru Asakura is going to be on there. Ren Hiramoto is going to be on there. Yutaka Saito is going to be on there. Yaman's going to be on there. They're bringing out all the stars for Super Ryzen. And there's a rumor that Shot Alive is going to face an international opponent, possibly from PFL, possibly either AJ McKee, which is the big one that everyone's hoping for, or it could be someone like Kizriev from the PFL. Those are just rumors at this point, not confirmed. The only one that's confirmed was the announced Striker Queen Reina or Shootboxing Queen Reina versus the Russian Kuzia. Daniel, and you're going to be there. I know you're hyped about this one. Please talk about this Super Ryzen 5 card on on September 10th.
About the only announced actual fight, I have a lot of worries about Rena because Yutina is a very good and strong fighter. She has a judo background, from what I remember,
Yes. Yes.
and she can be a big problem for Rena if she will be able to take her down. But it's a classical thing. The favorite fighter will be uh, there where the action goes. And simply, if Rena will be able to maintain the action on feet, then she may smack her opponent. If not, she probably will be tapping from what I can expect. Uh,
I think she'll
but
get Ronda Rousey with an armbar.
yes, but the other thing is that Sakakibara announced that they had a fighter for Yutaka Saito, but unfortunately, the fighter that he supposed to fight with had to pull out the fight, and right now we don't know who was the mysterious fighter, and that's actually all what we know about this card. You said about some single names, but I would like to I would like to talk about this card when we will have more cards revealed. Right now, I'm on the stage where I should take the tickets because I have never been at a show at the baseball stadium. I've been at the stadium KSW shows, but it's a, let's say, football stadium, soccer in American English, soccer stadium. But it's totally different. I think it's totally different feeling to have the ring on the center of the big stadium, big soccer stadium, than in Osaka Dome. Right now, it's Kyocera Dome, which is a baseball arena. So I'm just wondering if the better will be the places on the stands or the places on the floor. So that's my dilemma right now. And about the cards, I don't know what to say because we basically don't have many things revealed.
Who would you like to see the matchups? Like, what if Hagiwara beats Dalbeck? Do you think he could be facing either Ren or Mikuru on this card? Do you think that'd be a possible matchup, or do you think it's not enough time for turnaround for the September?
I think they might know who will Mikuru fight with and Ren. I think the cards are just scheduled inside or will be announced very soon.
Okay, so you think they're already
so,
scheduled? Okay,
yeah. So that's what you have said. That's a bit too less time to take another fight, especially at the stadium show.
okay, that makes sense. I was just throwing it out there, just throwing it out there to guess. So obviously you're pretty hyped for Super RIZIN 5, as we all are. But I'm super stoked that you're going to be there, and you're going to be documenting it on your YouTube channel, right? You said with a YouTuber or on your X account.
No. Maybe I'm not sure about the plan, but there's some Polish YouTuber that who lives in Japan every day, and via direct messages on X, we've been talking. When I will be in Japan, I will wrote to him, and we can shoot something. I'm not sure if he will be able to go to Osaka, but maybe there's some other plans just to introduce the casual people that are not interested in Japanese MMA or in MMA at all. What happens in Japan, how it looks like, what's the history about, and maybe bring some people from the organization. So I'm not sure what we will do yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm hoping that the video will be great.
Oh, we're hyped to see it, and we're hyped for you. I hope it's going to be it's already going to be a banger card, obviously. So I can't wait to see what the matches are going to be for you. Now, Drew, real quick, since I guess we're running low on time, and Daniel, stick around because we're going to do also just a real quick before we sign off, a little preview of the last couple of events. Because maybe there's a rumor that might be an international event in there. So get your thoughts on those. But Drew, give us your thoughts on the Super RIZIN 5 card. What do you think of the announcement, the only bout announced so far? Striker Queen Reina versus Kuzia, the judo queen, Russian judo queen.
I'd much rather that fight just be for a title. I don't think that you have to do all this nonsense with this kind of tournament. It's not even really a tournament.
It's not even a tournament. Exactly. Yeah, I was disappointed.
It's like they're weirdly making it, promoting it as if it's kind of like a tournament, but it's not. They should have just made this for the title. They should have not do this whole nonsense thing about whichever fight or fighter who wins, puts on the best performance, will fight for years. I think that's what was planned or what was
Yeah,
said. Just
yeah.
don't. No,
Like
it's just nonsense. Just
like they're trying to make it a tournament without actually making it a tournament. It's
just
ridiculous.
have
I
it.
agree
Just
with you 100%.
Reina and Kuzi are the two biggest stars. I mean, you could have done Oshima versus Kuzi, but Reina right now is the biggest star in the atomweight division who's active. And versus Kuzi is a very intriguing fight stylistically. So just make that for the title and fight, and then you can just have all these women fight each other, and then go from there, whatever. So
Oh,
yeah,
100% agreed.
I'm a fan of the fight.
Yes. And do you have any predictions for the superstars that are on there? Do you think you think Mikuru and Ren could be facing each other? Or they're going to be facing different opponents? Could be the
No,
last man
I
standing
think
title on the line or what?
no, like that last man standing title, I don't think exists anymore. I really don't, because it hasn't been mentioned. It's only been mentioned as like a joke at this point. So I think that thing is like one and done. Um, Mikuru probably. I don't know. That you know they just weirdly announced that Saito's not going to be fighting, and I thought like
No, no, no.
No,
Dan just said that they announced his opponent fell off. They have to get another opponent for him, right, Daniel?
yes. Saito is still on the card.
okay, okay. I figured. I mean, just like that's just like one fight. Just do it. They both have one win against each other, and they were from the pandemic era, so just kind of like do that fight. And I think it's a safe fight for both of them. That I think well, I would probably edge towards Mikuru on that. So probably that. I think they're gonna probably put. I don't know who they're gonna put Ren up against, but I don't think they're gonna do Mikuru versus Ren just yet. It's kind of I think a little bit dumb that Mikuru lost his last fight and Ren didn't have a real fight, and then you kind of put them together. I think you kind of have to have like a what do you call it, a buffer fight, and then you use that opportunity to just say like, hey, they got a win, and they call out each other after the fight and all that stuff. It'll be
Which is
weird.
probably the plan for this Super
Yeah,
Ryzen 5 if
but
they're not facing each other.
I don't know who they would put Ren against because dare I say, I thought like, oh, maybe they will do Kafaro versus Ren, but then Ren called out Kubo, and then it's I don't know. And also, here's the thing: I don't believe Ren fights until he actually fights. So we can have a fight announced, but who knows with him?
He just had a little exhibition boxing bout,
It's a fake fight. It's a fake fight.
but he got in the ring.
No, it's a fake fight because if the fight does not have a winner declared at the end, if there's a winner, if the whole intention of the fight is that it's a finish or draw, it's a fake fight. I don't consider it a real fight.
All right. So now, what about the rumors of Shadalayev facing one of your PFL fighters, be it McKee or Kizriev?
I don't know where this rumor has come about. It's just someone making graphics on Twitter, like saying, "Oh, I hope this fight," and then somehow that
remember because he's got 2 fights left.
Yes.
And they were originally going to talk about him facing the lightweight champion, RIZIN.
Yes.
But they don't want to do that because they don't want him, if he wins, then he'll be leaving with 2 belts possibly. Yes. Right? So that's when they started talking about bringing in a collaboration bout, and Kizriev was mentioned originally. But then AJ McKee just had a big performance over the weekend in San Diego.
Yes.
And then he shot to the top of the rumor mill. But AJ McKee is the fan rumor mill, but Kizriev was like an official rumor. So either way, the PFL collaboration was definitely rumored to be happening.
Yeah, well, again, not PFL collaboration, it's a UNext collaboration.
Well, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
No, it has to be differentiated because that doesn't mean that PFL
a UNext collaboration. What do you think about the UNext collaboration?
I don't think Kizriev, first of all, is that strong. I don't think UNext is like, we need to have Kizriev versus Shadalayev. McKee I can see because McKee had the win over Satoshi, but even then it's just I don't know. I know it's kind of, the thing is that Sakakibara at the last press conference said that now it's no longer Japan versus the world. It's now I think he said Ryzen versus Shadalayev or Japan versus Shadalayev. And from that implication, it sounded like it was going to be a Japanese person. And I think that's
to me, you know what? That's to me, he's building up Akimoto versus Shot.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. So it makes no sense to have because Kiziev is a step up, a huge step up. Kiziev wins, and then the title is on Kiziev. I say Kiziev wipes the floor.
No, but it wouldn't be. It'd be a non-title belt.
That's just no. I don't talk. I don't speak about non-title bouts because I don't care. So
Well,
I
then
also
Kiziev would have to be signed.
Shadowlife doesn't strike me as a guy who's like, I'll not. Yeah, let's not fight for a title. I think that was the whole thing with Kubo was that originally it was supposed to be non-title fight, but then he said, I want this to be a title fight. I think that's what it
Yeah,
originally was.
well, I mean,
So,
a non-title
yeah.
fight is not out of the question here, but if it is a title fight, they'd have to sign the guy to be
Yes.
sign Kizriev in case he won the title,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I mean, yes, yeah, of course, yes. And then the AJ McKee thing, again, I think the problem is that they want to do Akimoto versus Shadowlife, no matter what for New Year's Eve. I think that's really the direction they want to go. And
Which is why it could be a non-title fight. That way, even if he loses to
no, it's
McKee,
dumb. No,
then
it's
he would still
dumb.
face Akimoto on New Year's Eve for the title.
It's still dumb though. It's
No,
not.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of
No,
like
not
it.
Shadowlife.
Let's kind of wrap it up a little bit. We're
Yes.
going like 2.5
I have to,
hours
yeah,
already, so-
we'll wrap it up.
All
soon.
right,
I have
all
to head
right.
out
Todd, do
to
you want to talk about Super Ryzen 5 at all?
No, just kind of
Okay,
wrap
all
it
right.
up a little bit. 'Cause
Before we
people-
wrap it up, there's also a rumored, or not rumored, there's gonna be an October card and a November card. Now the rumor is that those could be an international. One of them could be at least an international card. So I want to get your guys' opinion about that, and then we'll go give the outros, and then we'll call it a show. So Daniel, do you think?
About that? Well, let's say foreign show. Sakakibara said it probably won't be this year, in the year 2026. But he said it could be possible throughout the fiscal year. I'm not sure what he was meaning.
I think he's talking about going back to Korea.
Okay, but what does it mean fiscal year?
That's that is a good question. I'm wondering that if he means like the tax year, like in the first quarter of next year, maybe, counting that as well. So
so you should probably expect something in the first quarter of 2027, but not until the end of December.
Okay, so you don't think it's going to be an international event this year? You think it's going to be the first quarter next year? Drew, what do you think?
What was the question again? Sorry, I have to get ready.
Oh, about the October show and November show. You think it could possibly be a international show, like say Korea or something, or
no.
Okay.
I don't, because there's nothing to indicate that they're even aiming for Korea anymore at this point. I think they're only doing every show in Japan at this point. Let's see. Yeah, no.
All right. Hey, how come you changed your shirt and you took off the sunglasses?
Unfortunately, I have to because as soon as you end this show, J-Wolf, I am bolting out of here. Unfortunately, I have to bolt out of here.
Oh, okay. Well, let's take this opportunity to end the show right now. Then, thank you guys for being on this show. This is fantastic. We talked about all the announcements that have happened, including the last two, the October and November show that was announced, and of course, everybody knows that New Year's Eve is the big year-end finale show. And Daniel's going to be at Super Ryzen 5, so everybody make sure you guys follow him on X and look for his stuff that's going to be happening. That's in September. Drew, you've been having fantastic, that article about Patchy Mix and Sato. You're going to have We Are Ryzen podcast previews of all these events we're talking about. And we're going to have the Ryzen report. We're going to be starting doing some preview shows of these events and review shows with even more announcements been happening. Daniel, you're welcome to come back for one of those if you like. And I just want to give you guys a chance to plug all the places. Daniel, where can the fans find you?
First and foremost, on the X platform, former Twitter, you can probably see my login today. It's DZIUBICKI, and that's how you should try to find me on X platform. Of course, I have an Instagram, but there's more like a Polish language activities, let's say my recent commentary activities of PFL, of BKB, of K1, etc. Also my private life, Daniel, double, I would say, it's not, it's like a floor, double floor, DEE. And I think that's all.
Okay, excellent. And that's the underscore you're talking about, right?
Yes. Thank you
Okay.
very much, guys, for having me tonight. I'm going sleep because it's
Yes. Thank you so much
yes,
for being on, Daniel. I
it's
know it's the
half
middle
past
of the
5.
night for you, and
Thank you
that
very
was great
much.
to have
Don't
you on
worry.
the show.
It was a great honor. Thanks.
Later, brother. Andrew, where can we find you and plug all your stuff?
I write for MMA Suck occasionally, as well as We Are Ryzen Pod on Twitter, X, whatever. We Are Ryzen Podcast, YouTube. Subscribe, like all the videos, and leave comments for algorithm things. Yes, that's basically it.
All right, and the Ryzen FF Fans Discord, where
Oh
we
yes,
have a fantastic fantasy league in there. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's in there on this panel, and just want to thank you, Todd, for hosting the Ryzen Report here on the Todd Atkins Network. And everybody follow the Todd Atkins Network channels and subscribe to all these good shows. And Todd, you want to send this out? And just want to say it real quick. I'm Jay Wolf, and we're talking about all the stuff that's happened for Rise, all the announcements, all the upcoming shows. And as always, I'm talking about Almighty Pride FC when I say this. Pride never die. Pride has risen.
All right, everybody, take care.
Take care, everybody.
Oh, delicious!